Welcome, everybody, to the Fandom Zone. This is your host, General Zod. And I'm running late because, weather, tornado watches and all that, and heavy rain. So, I gather that that's not friendly weather for a husky.
Nah. Yeah, but we had that storm over last night or Sunday night. Anyways, that storm's just slowly moving across the Midwest.
Yeah, it is.
There was
tornadoes and stuff.
There's still it was raining all day today. It was a nice rain. It wasn't heavy or stormy. It was just, it's nice.
Yeah, it was a little bit crazy. I was actually nervous for my internet because during bad weather, sometimes it doesn't. Funny, Tommy. I was actually nervous because I thought my internet was gonna have problems, but go figure, the internet actually started working better since the storm hit. So I actually haven't had much problems considering how bad the weather is. So anyways, we will be kicking things off, and then as time goes on, we got PB coming through and the normal late night crew. But the first thing I wanted to talk about tonight is, of course, Joker, because that's going to be the big thing leading up to the movie. And Cyber, I wanted to ask you, because I don't know if you've ever said being on the stream, but are you excited for this movie?
Oh yeah, I want to see it. Don't know when I'll see it because I don't always have money for movies, and I think I'm kind of busy this weekend.
Yeah, I feel like an ass when I mention that because I'm like, oh, I get to see any movie I want to. It's about one of the only benefits I get from working at the theater. So, free movies, and we should. But so we were talking about Joker today, and there's been some interesting articles, and I figured, Cyber, me and you would tackle this first article while we wait for the rest of the crew and kind of talk about Todd Phillips.
Right.
So hold on a second. Here we go. So I'm really starting to like Todd Phillips the more I hear about his views. And he actually addresses the woke culture. And I want to just Cyber, if anyone jumps in the back room, can you notify me? Because I'm not going to be able to see anything.
Yes, and if any of you are watching the stream in the back room, be sure to scream at the top of your lungs so I can see you and hear you.
Yeah, you got great hearing. Excellent hearing. So this has been making its rounds, and I want to talk with my audience and see how they're feeling about this now. And first off, I want to say to Todd Phillips' credits, he's done a lot of good comedy movies. Seeing this, it's like seeing two different directors, but it's really interesting because his claim to fame was The Hangover. He did Old School, Road Trip, and Starsky and Hutch was kind of the meh one in his catalog, but the rest of his films are pretty good, right, as far as comedy goes. And it's crazy to see a guy who comes from the comedy go all of a sudden into a serious drama. But this article here explains how he feels about comedies in the woke culture. So Todd Phillips explains why he left comedies for Joker. Go try to be funny nowadays with this woke culture. So already he acknowledges what we're going through right now. He's saying he left comedies to, because of the woke culture, his own quote. And it's hilarious to see that. Cyber, what do you think about a director acknowledging the state that we're in, especially comedies? Because we've talked about that a lot.
everyone's acknowledging it. Even the comedians are acknowledging it, like on Netflix. Like even Jeff Dunham freaking acknowledged it in his special after he had like a little political like type character, and at the end he said nobody gives a shit about celebrities like politics and stuff.
Yeah,
I'm sorry
and
that kind of ruins it, but there's a whole build up to it. Yeah.
nah, it doesn't ruin. Even if you just tell a joke, you get more gravity when you watch the comedy special. But I know what you're talking about because I watched that. It's fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah, that Jeff Dunham one was really, really funny. Love that.
But so when it was announced that Todd Phillips was the man who would be co-write and direct the Joker, people were shocked. Not because Phillips is tackling a comic book film, or even because he's some sort of terrible filmmaker. He clearly isn't. But instead, because he's best known for his raunchy comedies, such as The Hangover. But according to the director, there's a very good reason he ditched comedies for hard-hitting dramatic Joker. It's woke culture. Outside of the Hangover franchise, the director is also known as the helmer behind comedy films such as Old School, which was hilarious, Road Trip, and Starsky and Hutch. Not necessarily the CV that lend itself to making an R-rated, hard-boiled crime film such as The Joker. Speaking to Vanity Fair, Phillips explains why it's unlikely that he'll go back to making comedies anytime soon. Go try to be funny nowadays in this woke culture, Phillips said. There are articles written about why comedians don't work more. I'll tell you why. Because all the fucking funny guys are like, fuck this shit, because I don't want to offend you. Now, guys, I want you to really think about this. This man, if you had no interest in going to see Joker, you should endorse this film because this man understands. This man understands what is going on. And I would endorse Joker just because of the fact that it is a damn good movie. But you should endorse him because he's one of the few level-headed directors working right now. And Cyber, isn't this a funny move to make when your film is not even released yet? So he's got such confidence in how well his movie is going to do that he just comes out in an interview and calls these people out.
I mean, if you got confidence in your movie, that's great. And not like a false confidence like Rian Johnson had for The Last Jedi. There's a difference between a confidence and a false confidence. And so when you can tell when people have a real confidence, they just do not care what anyone says about it or anything. They sit back and watch to see what the fans think and not what the reviewers think or the interviewers or the journalists. They just want to see what the people who are watching it think.
Exactly, Cyber. Exactly. This man doesn't care about what some tabloid bunch of garbage is going to write about his film. He doesn't care about what the awards are going to say with the statements that he's bringing out. He is solely, clearly targeting the audience. He wants to know what we think of the film. He doesn't give a shit about appeasing anyone. And when I started reading this article, I realized, plus watching the film ahead of time, I could see the care and the love and the fact that you're not afraid. If you're not afraid to go out there in an interview or in your movie, I think that that's great. And I think that it's great he recognizes why these new comedies are such shit, because they don't want to offend people anymore. And I like the fact that he said, yeah, I'm just going to ditch comedies altogether because if I can't be funny, if I can't do something offensive, then what's the point in making a comedy movie, right? Your heart's not in it.
Yeah.
So that really struck me right there. He continued, it's hard to argue with 30 million people on Twitter. So just can't do it, right? So you just go, I'm out. I'm out. And you know what? With all of my comedies, I think that what comedians in general all have in common is they're irrelevant. So I go, how do I do something irrelevant but fuck comedy? Oh, I know. Let's take the comic book movie universe and turn it on its head with this. And so that's really where that came from. Joker isn't the director's first foray into the post-raunchy world. Despite its obvious humor, one could argue that his previous film, War Dogs, is that bridge between the Todd Phillips that brought audience hangover and the man behind the new comic book film that is expected to get some serious Oscar discussion. So despite his filmography filled with broad comedies, it would appear that the filmmaker is entering a new phase of his career, and if you don't like it, then you should blame society, or so Phillips says. Joker is hitting theaters in October 4th. Now, I like how, you know, he puts in his own words, but then you can see the article's own little spin. Like, that's not what he's saying. He's saying he doesn't want to do comedy anymore because he's tired of the political bullshit. That's what he's saying. He's tired of the SJW nonsense. He quoted woke culture. I didn't even think directors were using that term. I know Chappelle used cancel culture, but it's kind of funny that Todd Phillips just like went for the gold, and he said, "Yeah, I don't want to do it in this woke culture." So, I mean, Cyber, what are your thoughts about the article?
Oh, I'm just liking that there's more and more like celebrity figures getting tired of all the bullshit. It's slowly happening, but you can see more and more do not give a shit about what people try to say, if it like hurts them, offends them, or if they think you should be canceled for whatever reason. I say let them say it, because fuck, I'm getting tired of seeing like the cancel culture and shit.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see a director that actually is going out and saying this. You know, I'm telling you, we need more directors, we need more comedians, we need more of these actors coming out and saying, you know what, I'm tired of not getting a role. I'm tired of not being able to be in a movie because I gotta be PC and I can't say this, I can't say that. You know what, Cyber? When did it become a thing where you can't have an offensive joke in a comedy? I mean,
I don't know.
when can we even trace this back to becoming a thing?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where to trace it back, but I will say this. You know, everybody knows when theater kind of started in history. And I'm saying this because people get pissed. Nowadays, people get pissed off who's playing this or that.
Yep.
Back when theaters started in ancient Greece, they were all men. They were pretty much all white men because it was Greece. But the thing is, nobody saw their faces because they had, you know, the masks to show the emotion so people could see it. There was emphasized. It was up to the audience to use their imagination to fill out the storyline. And then that's what a lot of these actors have studied when they're trying to get in, is what the Greeks did. They studied like Shakespeare. And so when people say they got to be canceled or shut down because they can't do this, they can't act that, they can't say this or that, it kind of affects them a lot more than you think.
Yeah, and you know, it's pretty interesting to see just to actually see that they are actually saying something. They're not just sitting back and just sitting on their hands and scared.
Yeah.
They're actually talking about this stuff. So
Yeah.
there was one more article doing with this Joker that I wanted to show everyone, because I know we are. Cyber PB. Miss PB says hi.
Tell her not yet.
That's code for something. I don't know. Okay. Anyways, before we continue, let me address the chat really quick. Give my welcomes. Welcome, Tommy. He's been in here like a champ. Always in here on time when we are
hold
not.
on. I have to explain it to PB. Tell her not yet, because I'm not high yet.
Oh, okay.
It's simple. It's straightforward.
Welcome, Biden Cube. Welcome, Ancient One. Welcome, Perp Minded. Welcome, Matt's Mama Bear.
Oh, I love the Senate chat.
Welcome, Gail. And welcome, Slasher. And, of course, welcome to the Senate. Welcome all. Good to have you guys. We are talking about the Joker and how the director is coming out and talking about the ridiculous woke culture. In an article, he got interviewed, and he said that he said fuck comedy because he can't do it in this woke culture. And I agree. I think it's hilarious, and I think when people see the movie, they're going to see exactly a lot of different things. I can't spoil it, but as we get closer, it gets harder for me to talk about this movie without talking about the movie.
All you need to say is, will we still love the Joker, or maybe love him even more after watching this movie?
Even more. That's what
All
I'm
right,
gonna endorse even more.
All right.
So, so we're going to go to another article with Todd Phillips, and it's hilarious, right? His movie's not even out. This article was September 26th, but it's hilarious because he is not unapologetic with his statements. And so the Joker director again comments on outrage. The far left can sound like the far right when it suits their agenda. I mean, this guy is becoming very quickly one of my favorite directors. Like, I have unknowingly watched all of Todd Phillips' stuff. I just didn't know it was him who directed it until I started doing stuff like this. But I've watched War Dogs. I've watched The Hangover. I saw Old School. I saw Road Trip. All of those. So it's hilarious to see him just going at it and not giving a shit. And he's addressing the stupid controversy that now my theater is subjected to. So earlier this year, as he put the finishing touches on his new film, director Todd Phillips probably didn't expect he'd have to answer such heavy questions regarding the political landscape, gun violence, and society in general. However, when talking about
you need
Joker,
to zoom in a little bit because it's really hard to read.
However, when talking about Joker, these issues seem to be the only thing that people want to focus on. And according to the filmmaker, during the production of Joker, this sort of controversy was the furthest thing from his mind. Speaking to the Wrap, Phillips talked about how his film has been the subject of intense debate with the Aurora shooting family victims and the U.S. military dragged into the discussion. For the director, when he was creating the film, all he thought about was how he was sneaking a real movie into a studio system obsessed with superhero films. We didn't make the movie to push buttons, Phillips said. I literally described to Joaquin Phoenix at one point in those 3 months as look at this as a way to sneak a real movie into a studio system under the guise of a comic book film. It wasn't. We want to glorify this behavior. It wasn't literally like, let's make a real movie with a real budget and we'll call it fucking Joker. That's what it was. But now that he finds himself in the middle of one of the most controversial films of the year, Philip says he's surprised specifically by how the discussion seems to be so contentious. I'm surprised. Isn't it good to have these discussions? Isn't it good to have these discussions about these movies about violence? Why is that a bad thing? If the movie does lead to discourse about it, he asked, which is a good statement, Cyber. Like, I like his view. Why is it such a dirty, bad thing to talk about violence? Right? What is the character of the Joker? Really, everyone in the chat, people who are fans of the Joker, what does the Joker do? He causes mayhem, and he's the embodiment of chaos.
Yeah, he's a chaotic evil.
Exactly. So in an R-rated film, why is it so taboo that in a fucking R-rated film you are showing gun violence? Oh my god, guns in an R-rated movie. Holy shit. I mean, sex, weed, and drugs and all that stuff, that's okay. But when we talk about guns, don't talk about guns. Don't talk about the Joker fucking shooting people.
Why are they complaining about it with the Joker? Deadpool had a lot of fucking gun violence.
Exactly. And Deadpool 2, what came out a little bit, but because it was pure superhero movie, right? Well, not really, but an anti-hero kind of thing, they could just say, oh, he's kind of a hero. It's a superhero movie, I like how Todd Phillips says this is realism with a character from a fictional world implanted into it. Let's have a discussion. This is the stuff that we talk about on our channels.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a feeling after I watch this, like I said before, probably gonna want them to build up a universe of more villains. How about next they do like a Deathstroke movie maybe, or fucking like Lex Luthor movie, something.
Ooh, how good would that be?
Oh yeah, really good. But you gotta get the guy that played him in Smallville.
Oh yeah, Michael Rosenbaum.
Or get Bruce Willis. I don't know why, but for a long time I've been wanting Bruce Willis to play Lex Luthor, and it's not because it's bald. It is because he's bald. It is 100% because he's bald. But also, but the other reason is because a lot of people like complain. It's like a lot of people are like, "Oh, Lex Luthor, yeah, he's bald. He got a good character, but he doesn't have the look, the chiseledness." I'm like, Bruce Willis fits all those categories. Look, he's chiseled face and he's bald.
And I think, given how Bruce Willis has that badass persona, but like you've seen him in Unbreakable, he can do kind of like that everyday kind of guy, I think that he could pull it off. That'd be interesting. Yeah. Now you got me thinking about that, Cyber.
Yeah. Hell,
instead
of having him in Birds of Prey, I would love to actually have Black Mask have his own movie, and then have another movie where there's like, it's like you could set up all these like Batman villains, and then have one movie where it's just a gang war between all of them. Like
I love that, like
Penguin. They set up like the Scarecrow. You could set up Mr. Freeze, Two-Face, and it's just gang war of all of them. And if you're really smart, you can set that up to a Batman movie, and that's why Batman's needed.
Yeah. We should send in these ideas. We'll be millionaires.
It'd be perfect. I'd love to see a big gangster movie with all of them going after each other.
So Phillips added, I think it's because outrage is a commodity. I think it's something that has been a commodity for a while. Let's just highlight that. I love that sentence. I think it's because outrage is a commodity. I think it's something that's been a commodity for a while. What's outstanding to me in this discourse in this movie is how easily the far left can sound like the far right when it suits their agenda. It's really been eye-opening for me. While there are some filmmakers that would retreat In the face of criticism and controversy, it appears Phillips is not going to stand down and will continue to defend his film, as you might expect. And in doing so, it seems as if the discussion surrounding these issues and Joker isn't going to go away anytime soon. You know what? I respect Todd Phillips even more. Like, good for him. Don't back down from these people. Like, and I like the sentence he put in there. He said, the far left uses those words when it suits their agenda. So this isn't a left or a right thing, you know? And I like that someone's pointing that out. This isn't about the left. This isn't about the right. Everyone uses those words when it suits their own personal agenda. Thank you, Matt's Mama Bear.
Yeah, this sounds like we got a filmmaker who is making a film because they wanted to, and they wanted to do it to entertain whoever. They're not trying to appeal to a certain audience. Actually, well, technically they are comic book fans and DC fans, obviously, but they're not trying to direct it at a political audience. They're trying, I'm trying to say is they're directing it at the intended audience.
Exactly. And here's the thing everyone was worried about. They're like, oh, is this the Joker, you know? And hey, people who are fans of the Joker, I understand your concern. If you love the character, you should want someone to embrace it. But I think, too, you should also take away the message of someone using a comic book vehicle and reinventing it to bring about certain messages about what's going on, and using the Joker, which you can use him for this, right? What does the Joker stand for? He stands for political anarchy, right? He is not the system. He's not the establishment. He is everything that is the opposite of established order, right? This is the perfect character to do something with that and not see it as a political statement, but rather as a statement to how society is, right? Because this woke culture isn't just politics, it's people. It's people's wacky ass thinking, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is speaking to how we are evolving as people, how we're getting sensitive, how everyone's feelings are getting hurt over a movie. Fucking movie. I mean,
know how I'm going to kind of say before we get too far.
Yeah,
some people say like the guns and stuff. I'm like, well, it doesn't matter. The Joker's killed people with a lot of stuff, and technically, the laughing gas. Most of the times in the comics and stuff, the laughing gas kills you. It's not like the shows where it may give you paralysis. A lot of times that gas kills you, but it kills you while you're laughing to death. So you have a smile on your corpse. Think about how
horrible that fate is. Think about how horrible is the fate is to be dying from a gas, right? And this was established, folks, in the 90s cartoon, right? Remember, they didn't exactly show people dying, but what they cleverly did is they implied that those people did not recover, right? No one recovered from the laughing gas.
And the censors, did change from then to like the Batman and the Batman, the Brave and the Bold, because they did have to kind of show some of those people being cured later. But still, the point is, those people were out for the whole show until Batman gave them like a cure or something.
Yep.
Yeah. And there are some forms of his gas, because he has several forms of his gas. There's some that will paralyze you, another will kill you. Usually he uses his one to kill, and he uses the one to paralyze if he's going after a public figure to hold hostage so he can get Batman to go after him.
And here's the thing. Joker's whole entire shtick was being evil for the sake of drawing out to proving that Batman wasn't just, this beacon of justice, right? He was flawed. And when you think about the character, Batman is flawed. I mean, he toes the line. I mean, he won't kill you, but breaking your arm is pretty, extreme when you consider other DC heroes, right? Like Superman or something like that, who won't go that route. But DC has always had a darker tone. And I find it hilarious how now that this movie's gaining buzz and everything like that, part of the critics' critique, part of what their argument is this is going to cause shootings because of the movie The Dark Knight Rises, which was one isolated incident from like years ago. There hasn't been another shooting like that since Dark Knight Rises, and they're using that for the Joker.
Security has gone up in movie theaters for these late night things since then too.
Yeah,
it did. A lot of you can't bring shit sometimes into movie theaters now. I have never gone to a midnight showing, but I know you can't bring anything sometimes in the movie theaters if it's like late showing. It's like they will fucking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, Matt's Mama Bear, want to point out her comment because she just quoted one of my all-time favorite comic books, The Killing Joke. Joker is motivated by trying to prove that one really bad day can break you and push you over the edge. And when you read the comic The Killing Joke, or if you're not a reader, because I know PB's in there somewhere pulling his hair out, going fucking source material, right? But if you're not a comic book reader, watch the animated version. Granted, it's not as good as the comic, but if you read that comic, the premise of it is just that. And think about that statement. Who here has had a shitty day? Right?
We've all
Everyone, just one of those days when you don't want to wake up. Ancient One in the chat has another great one. He says, them saying that Joker promotes shootings is like them saying Mortal Kombat promotes violence. And what they are saying is utterly absurd. Exactly.
Yes, Mortal Kombat promotes fist fights in the school. I'm just trying to make the same, analogy of where they're trying to think the setting will be.
I also
or it promotes bar fights.
I also like what Darren Gell said. They said people want to keep saying incels aren't a threat, but they totally are. Read 1177 BCE, the year civilization collapsed, and it starts to look identical to today on the micro level. I'm going to have to check that out.
Was it the Dark Ages?
It sounds like we might be reset back to the Dark Ages. But, I mean,
wait, that's before the Dark Ages. That's why I always say BC or AD. I know people.
Yeah, because it's before
because even religious or not religious, I'm like, but BC and AD is easier than CE and BCE. I almost got confused right there. But yeah, somewhere before that. I'm trying to remember what happened that year in history.
Oh,
what was it? 1177? All right.
Yep.
Shit, yeah, that's the first thing that pops up too when you type it in there.
Yeah, and I like what Tommy says here too. He says, I have said this before. They either want to sabotage this movie with fear of gun violence, or they want to provoke it so something happens so they can institute new gun laws. Yeah, it's all politics. It's all politics that everything is around. And I like the director is like, you know what? Yeah. I'm gonna call you guys out on it. This is bullshit.
I think he wants one thing where people like always try to make some. Oh, is this about politics? This is about politics. No, he wants this one. He wants his movie to no one see it as politics and just as a freaking movie for everyone to enjoy. I want that.
I mean, don't get
Everybody
me wrong.
wants that.
There is a statement in there, but I think what he wants people to take out of it is going to be the question of, you know, I mean, just based off of his statements in the news too, look around you at the way society is, right? You know, directors recognize this. Directors recognize it. Comedians recognize it. Actors are starting to recognize this, right? The sane ones. And they're starting to say it's getting to a point, Cyber, where we're fuck it. We're just going to have to go back to silent movies because you can't say anything. I mean, you
Oh
can't.
yeah, then we have to set up a theater thing, get a little thing where somebody plays a piano, or maybe a full-blown orchestra, and plays the music to that.
I say, you know what I say, Cyber? I say, screw it. Let's go back to the days of ABBA and Costello.
That's the one thing I've heard, because I never watched the silent films on Netflix, but some people have, and they said they're boring. That's because they don't play the freaking music on them, I guess. I'm like, why? You're supposed to have all
part of the talking.
You're supposed to have all the piano music and stuff. Netflix, you throw it in there, or have it as a selection. Do you want the piano music or the more orchestral music? And you just throw it in there, and it plays with the movie. That's what it's supposed to be.
Curtis YZ came in, welcome. Mox Rocks has been in here, welcome. Butterfingers has just entered, welcome. Yeah, we're just talking about this controversy. And let me tell you something, guys. Let me tell you guys who are watching this and who may rewatch this. This buzz, okay, this isn't a fictional thing. My theater, my real life job has put stock into this bullshit. We literally have. I meant to do it today, but they didn't have it out until I was getting ready to go. And then, the storm of the century. So I was worried about that. But we have a place where you have to put items like a bag check. There's a little fucking I don't know, like hologram bag thing that we give customers. I don't even know what the hell it is, but apparently they're supposed to put items from their bag that they want to bring in into these bags to bring them into the film. I'm like, what is this movie like Burning Mississippi? I mean, okay, I'm older, but most people don't remember, okay? If you guys have never seen it, Burning Mississippi, when it came out, and especially in the New York area, it was a film about slavery.
Some schools require you to watch it because that's how I saw it.
Yeah, that movie, when it first premiered, let me tell you what happened in that film. There was riots. Like in New York, people legitimately got hurt. Some got injured because, black people rioted seeing that because the movie, I'm sure people have seen it. It tackles very hard into racial divides. Okay, there was another movie called Rosewood. Same exact thing. There was a riot for that film. I went to see that in the middle of the Bronx. Granted, not a very smart move. I had no clue what the movie was about. This was before, Google search, and you realize like you shouldn't go in and see that film. But I'm sitting there like the only white person in the theater, and it gets to parts with people being hung and things like that, and all of these eyes are staring at me, and it's about like I had to finish the movie on DVD. I had to wait for it, or I think at that time it was VHS. I had to leave the theater because there were scenes that came up, and I swear to God, everyone just stopped and looked at me, and it was like, well, it's time to hit the dusty trail. And so I read the paper, and the next day there was a riot in the theater. And but these were movies that had a cultural theme, right? They talked about racism, slavery, shit that happened, shit that are touchy issues, right? But Joker is talking about the Joker. I mean, we're not talking about things that should be considered racially motivated or things like that. I mean, it tackles societal things, but I mean, it's not. I mean, they're hyping it up like it's going to be this big thing that's going to cause a real life revolution with people fucking running around in Joker masks shooting people. I mean, that's literally what we have been warned in our theater. In real life, Cyber, like my boss really with a straight face telling me, we got to make sure we prevent anyone from coming in with guns and shooting the place up. I'm like, are you serious right now? We're in the most suburban area. Like, are you kidding me?
It's not like the psycho who did it, and they caught that guy. They caught that guy. It's not like all like those school shootings and stuff that happened after it, where the person committed suicide. No, they caught this guy. Around the court, found out he had a bunch of mental issues. They've locked him up.
And there's the key, Cyber. There's the key. That movie got buried, right? And I personally thought it was a good film. I look forward to it. I still saw it like 2 times, right? That film got buried under controversy. And what was it? You just said that guy had a bunch of mental issues, right? They don't want to look at the people behind this crap. They want to blame something. You know, blame the movie, blame having guns, blame this, blame that, blame the postal worker down the street.
Yeah, you know, I still haven't seen the third Dark Knight Rises. Long story, you know, I never saw it in theaters or anything. Long story short is my younger brother wasn't old enough to see it at the time, and I was supposed to watch him. So he wouldn't sneak and watch the movie because my parents heard it was, you know, darker than the other ones. I'm like, it's been how many? It's about how I still haven't seen it, and I feel bad about it. But I've seen the other 2 millions of times, but not the third one.
And Tommy brings up a good point too. He says, "I'm telling you, when the next wave of the PC culture will probably come from the right again." And you know, here's the thing, people. I'm getting to a point where, you know, politically, it doesn't matter now, right? Because both sides of the aisle, and Todd Phillips said it himself, they're using agendas when it suits the purposes. And let's not close our eyes to it, right? Both sides use these things to get something going, right? Because tragedy is the best political spin. And I hate to put it that way, but that's just the way it is, right?
Tragedy, fear.
The fear of, you know, it starts with a tragedy, and the fear of more tragedy is, you know, what keeps them motivated to get these bills and things going. And it's really, really, really crazy to me that we need to find something to blame, like some kind of product or a tool, because that's what any weapon is. It's a tool, right? But why aren't we looking at the people behind these things? You know, Todd Phillips, like he said, he just wants to make a movie. He's not trying to make some kind of political statement.
Yeah.
You know, he wants to do a film, a movie that people can watch and have a good time. And it's sad that you can't do that. Gail brings up another good point.
Just like the old directors, the great ones that we all know and love and remember. I'm going to say George Lucas and Spielberg. They made a lot of movies just for the sake of having a fun movie.
Mm-hmm.
Hell,
And welcome friends and
I like the prequels. There's some people that don't like them, but every time I look at them, I'm like, George made these because, you know, people love the old ones and he loved these ones. Well, he also knew he had a huge family audience, so yes, he did throw like Jar Jar in there for some kids.
But Cyber, see, you know, that was, to me, whether you like or hate the prequels, that was the end of the golden age for Star Wars, where they had the balls to do what they did in those films. Whether you like or hate them, I mean, the dude got his head cut off. They showed like younglings being killed, or they strongly implied it. You know, the movies had the guts to tackle the things that they had to tackle because it was part of the story.
Yeah.
And
also, they did not use that much CG. It was miniature sets. A lot of miniature sets. Everyone forgets that.
I also like
miniatures.
What Matt's Mama Bear says. She says scapegoat is easier to use than to tell society to look at themselves. And that's right. You know, for all you guys out there, you guys already know by seeing my background, I'm a martial arts instructor. And, you know, I have a drill with my kids and I make them look in the mirror and I go, look at yourself and tell me, what do you see, right? What do you see that you can change? And one of my kids go, well, this is stupid. Why are we doing this? And I go, that's exactly the reason why. Because you've got to look at your own self and find out what it is you disagree with, right? What it is, what your view is. You know, we're living in a age where information, even us as YouTubers, right? Anyone who gives out information, anyone who does these kinds of discussions, we're being consumed by a mass audience, right? They're taking everything to heart. But I would warn everyone, even people watching my show. I do this as a funny thing. We make fun of articles and things like that. But on a serious note, make your own goddamn decisions, okay? You don't got to take what I say as gospel. You shouldn't take what someone else says that's gospel. You know, think for yourself. And I think that's what Todd Phillips is trying to say, not only in his movie, but in the interviews, right? We got to think for ourselves. When we start thinking in mass groups, that's when we are slaves. We're all slaves to this social platform that's developing. I mean, you know, being part of the gaming community, right?
Oh, yeah.
Getting the views, hustling, trying to
It
get
always
watch.
pissed me off when people try to say, "Oh, the gaming community has always been fucking toxic." Okay,
Yes,
there's never been a point that it's not been toxic, and certain games have a more toxic community than others. Overwatch has a fucking toxic ass community. I've heard CS:GO's pretty bad. One of my friends said he didn't want to. He got like something from Steam and stuff, free stuff, and he said he'd never want to touch CS:GO because that has one of the most toxic freaking communities out there. And hell, the thing that turned me off from battle royales and most were the communities of PUBG and Fortnite. One is because the elitists of PUBG just had a stick so far up their ass that they said they were the original battle royale. They weren't. Said they did it first, Fortnite copied them. I'm like, well, here's the thing. You did that, made fun of them. They also went after you. And then at the end of it, one marketed and appealed towards a broader audience by going to pop culture references. There's also more to the reason why Fortnite ended up beating PUBG in the end. I once read that it's because they had a smaller map and a little more weapons, so it wasn't so barren. You weren't just sitting there whacking off. Because I've watched both videos, you know, people playing it, and I never, and every time, because I first saw PUBG, I'm like, oh, this, and then I'm like, skip through the whole video. How did they went? Nope, because it got boring because there was no one killing each other.
But you know what sucks about your side as opposed to my side? Your side in the gaming world, my side in movies, they're actually buying into this bullshit. Movies like that are trying to be creative, like the Joker and stuff, they have to go through hell, catch flack, and be seen by, like, you know, level-headed audience like me and probably the people watching, right? But with video games, you guys have managed to call that bullshit out. I see a lot when you call out these people going like, hey, you know, why are you guys saying this about this game? You know, we don't give a shit. We just want to play
even
games.
If it has politics or nothing, gaming community is also tired of the bullshit from the gaming industry, starting with the microtransactions and half-ass DLCs, if you want to call them that, because back in the day, DLCs were fucking DLCs. There was a whole, like, you could probably consider another game, but it wasn't because it worked the same way as the current game you got. It was just more It's like getting, ice cream with your cake.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you guys are dealing with a different issue where you're getting ripped off on the end of you get half a game after paying like $60. We're getting ripped off where we get a whole film and it's garbage.
Yeah.
It's like,
You
it's
can have
crazy
a
to me.
film. It's funny. You can have a game that's an hour long that costs more than a film that it lasts the same amount of time if you just sit there. There are games out there that are $60 and they're about 2 hours long. Is a game problem for gaming, and that's it.
Yeah. And it's we're both getting screwed over in our own ways. But I want to bring up something funny for everyone. You guys are gonna find this hilarious. Let's talk about the prince.
What
So,
prince?
who is it? Who the hell is that one prince? I think Prince Henry or one of them. Well, Meghan, his wife, sues the Mail on Sunday over private letter.
What?
That's what I said, so I had to read this. So, the Duchess of Sussex has begun legal action against the Mail on Sunday over a claim that it unlawfully published one of her private letters. Like, wow. Now, for them to do this, they had to have opened it, which is a federal offense.
Wait. This is in the UK, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. There's bullshit because they don't have a constitution that protects your privacy and your freedom of speech. Right. How do I know this? Of fucking 1776. That's the whole reason why we left them. Do you think they've really changed their rules that much since then? Not really.
And it's hilarious because I'm looking at this, I'm like, what? So, like, in a statement, the Duke of Sussex said he and Meghan were forced to take action against relentless propaganda. Prince Harry said, I lost my mom, and now I watch my wife falling victim to the same powerful forces. A Mail on Sunday spokesman said the paper stood by the story it published, and it would defend the case vigorously. So they had gotten a private letter, right? And then they had published it for people to read. Now, I just want to say, I normally don't give a shit about what's going on, across the pond or whatever.
No, I don't either.
But I think that is so messed up, man. Like, just picture you get a private letter and then these assholes that, this is where media is at. And it doesn't matter if you're here in the US or if you're across seas, they're still playing this stupid game where they take something personal and private and they publish it for everybody to see.
Well, the thing is, if something's private here in the US and it was taken without permission, you can take them to the federal court.
Oh yeah, that would be, you'd be looking at like that's some hard jail time right there. That's like one of those prisons where you get shamed. So it's kind of messed up though, that it doesn't matter who you are. Doing that is that's just low. Like, these people should be ashamed of themselves. But the law firm Shillings, acting for the Duchess, accused the paper of a campaign of false derogatory stories. The firm has filed a high court claim against the paper and its parent company over alleged misuse of privacy information.
Sorry, this is a little off topic. I just had to approve Theron Gale's saying because I think BitChute is blocked by YouTube. Because that's perfectly fine, everything there. Yeah, and then I had to approve because of BitChute.
That's a very good point. And it's funny because it's the Information Infringement, Copyright, and Breach of Data Protection Act of 2018. A lengthy personal statement of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex official website, Prince Harry said, the painful impact of intrusive media coverage and driven the couple to take action, referring to his late mother, Diana, Princess of Wales. The prince said his deepest fear is history repeating itself. I've seen what happens when someone I love is commoditized to the point that they are no longer treated or seen as a real person, he said. BBC royal correspondent Nicholas Witchall said the statement was remarkably outspoken and nothing less than a stinging attack on the British tabloid media. It is not the first time the royals have taken legal action against the press. In 2017, Duke and Duchess of Cambridge were awarded 92,000 or 100,000 euros in damages after French magazine Closer printed topless pictures of the Duchess in 2012. Like, I mean, come on. Like, not saying I would not like to get those pictures.
It said this. But it's already against a law they have established. So now they can start going to court.
Yeah, because it's not like you said, they don't have like a constitution like we do, but this is where it's tricky with these laws that they pass, because internet-wise, it's a pain in the ass. But for stuff like this, there is a point, no matter if it's the prince or if it's Johnny down the street, there comes a point where if you wouldn't do that to a normal person, just because it's the prince and the princess, that doesn't make it right for you to pry into them.
Oh my God. I was right.
What?
That's right. BitChute is Brock.
Really?
Yeah, unless it's because it's spelled like bitch, and then it has the oot.
Wow, that's hilarious.
Yeah, that's funny.
Lie after lie, the new legal proceedings are being funded privately by the couple, and any proceeds will be donated to an anti-bullying charity. In a statement, Prince Harry said he and Meghan believed in media freedom and objectivity, truthful reporting as a cornerstone of democracy. Good luck with that shit, because we don't have it here. Good luck having it over there. But he said his wife had become one of the latest victims of the British tabloid press that wages its campaign against individuals with no thought of the consequences, a ruthless campaign that escalated over the past year throughout her pregnancy while raising her newborn son. Man, what pieces of shit. Prince Harry said, what was that?
I was kind of laughing because everybody kept typing BitChute, and I had to keep improving it.
Prince Harry said, there is a human cost to this relentless propaganda, specifically when it is knowingly false and malicious. And though we have continued to put our brave face, as so many of you can relate to, I cannot begin to describe how painful it has been. He said positive coverage of the couple's current tour of Africa had exposed the double standards of this specific press path that has vividly her most daily in the past 9 months. They have been able to create lie after lie at the expense simply because she has not been visible while on maternal leave, he said. She's the same woman she was a year ago on our wedding day, just as she is the same woman you've seen on this African tour. Is it bullying? The Duke said he has been a silent witness to her private suffering for too long. To stand back and do nothing would be contrary to everything we believe in, he said. He accused the paper of misleading readers when it published a private letter by strategically omitting paragraphs and sentences of specific words to mask the lies they had perpetrated for over a year. But put simply, it is bullying which scares and silences people. We all know this isn't acceptable at any level, he said. He won't and can't believe the world where there is no accountability for this. The Mail on Sunday spokesperson said, we categorically deny the Duchess letter was edited in any way that changed its meaning. So, they basically printed a whole letter. A private letter. Like, they went through someone's mail, they took their mail, and they printed it for press. They invaded someone's privacy.
Yep.
Could you imagine the fucking backlash that would cause here in the U.S.? Welcome, Stevie J.
G'day, guys. How you going?
Good. I
Pretty
can
good.
now duck out for a little bit to use the restroom.
Go ahead. So I was talking about this thing with Prince Henry and his wife Meghan, and how a tabloid paper stole one of their letters and printed it for the paper, and then changed certain things and put it in a piece. What do you think about that?
Well, I think it's shit, and I think it's but I think it's typical of the media. Always, their main goal is always to try and get the scoop, to get the latest thing before anybody else, exclusives, all that kind of stuff. And it doesn't surprise me one bit that they resort to thievery to do that. So
And
that's what I think.
Here's the thing, Stevie. I think about this when I read this article, right? And I normally don't give a shit about what's going on with the prince. I do think his wife is hot. I would have liked to see the photos that the French paper printed. No, but that was messed up too. But these guys are like vultures, and it's kind of funny when you think about it, because our media does the same exact thing, but in a different style. They more character assassinate, right? Like with everything we've been reading about with the Joker and everything else. We were talking about that earlier, and I'm gonna want to get your thoughts on that. But I'm kind of keeping it all in the same, in the same ballpark here. It's like, what gives you the right to take someone's personal mail, a fucking letter, the whole letter, Stevie? They printed the articles, the whole personal correspondence.
I don't understand. Like, what's your thought process? I know they're trying to get, sell magazines or papers or whatever, but what's your thought process when you're actually hitting send to the editor, and then the editor's hitting okay, excuse me, let's print? Like, at no point did anybody think to themselves, I wonder if they're going to care if we do this. Really? Come on.
I don't know how papers work over there, but over here, like say New York Times, Wall Street Journals, right? You have the writer, or it might be a freelancer, and they'll be like, hey, I got a great idea for an article, right? They write up their draft or whatever, they go through a couple of copies. They're like, okay, this is the one. They send it to like the bullpen, right? You got Jimmy Olsen who runs it, right? And he takes it to the chief editor. And the chief editor looks at it and he goes, okay, this seems good. And then they take it to one other person, like the head of that guy, who looks at it, makes sure, goes, okay, nothing offensive. We're not going to hurt feelings here. Okay, let's go to print. We can have this in, the afternoon papers, or, if there has to be rewrites, we'll have it in tomorrow's paper, right? There's like stages where someone should go, this looks kind of personal. Maybe we don't want to print this like at all, because it's a fucking letter, a personal letter from someone's fucking mailbox.
Yeah, that's what gets me. Like I can understand like a enthusiastic reporter who's trying to get his name out there or trying to get their name out there, whatever, trying to get some kind of notoriety. I can understand that, but I can't understand the 4 or 5 other fuckwits that have to read it before it goes to print, and nobody says, "Hey, where'd you get this?" hey, why did you why's that envelope over there got fucking their address on it and the stamp and everything? How did you get this letter? It's just, yeah, I can't believe it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, at no point did the mind rebel at any point they were at where they said, this could be a lawsuit. They might like actually have grounds to like take this to court. They were like, nah, fuck it, man. Send it to print. We're golden.
Yeah, straight there. Well, I reckon even my 6-year-old son would be like, "Oh, where did that letter come from? Should you really be? Should you really be putting somebody's personal letter out there? That's not the right thing to do."
Okay, let's put this in our American streaming, right? Say one of us decides to do a stream, right? And
Yep.
we're gonna do a hard hitting stream, and we're gonna do it on we're saying it's an article, but then come to find out it's a letter that we've intercepted for the purposes of doing it for this live stream, right? So right there, we're doxing someone, unless we decide to blink out names, right? But maybe someone's watching and they go, "Oh, holy shit, that's Joe's letter. I know that, right?" So we're sitting there putting on someone's personal business. We're doing a whole stream about it. And we're like, yeah, screw the consequences. And then say everyone on the panel goes, "Hey, we're getting a hit for this. We're getting a strike. We should fight about this because this is not right."
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it's almost exactly the same as that. Like, I mean, let's just hypothesize for a second that I'm over in the States, and even further, I live in your town, and I'm going to do a live stream, and I'm calling it General Zod's personal butt fuckery, right? And so I just go, well, how can I make this seem interesting? I know. I'll go around to his house and I'll take a letter out of his mailbox. And now I'm on my stream and I put the letter up and I'm like, look at this scoop I've got. I've got the letter of General Zod. And then you come on the stream or in the chat and you're like, "Hey, fuckhead, how did you get that letter?" Oh shit, am I not supposed to be doing this? Oh dear. Maybe I should have asked permission first. What the fuck? These people, seriously.
It's like, yeah, at no point does the mind rebel to these
All right.
people.
I'll even give it to you the same thing on another level. Same thing, right? But let's just say I go around to PB's house and I get one of his letters, right? And it's your stream this time. And I say, "Hey Zod, I got a topic for your stream tonight. I've got this personal letter that I've got. Scoop inside knowledge, PB." And I send it in the DM, and you have a look at it, and you send me a message back saying, "Are you fucking crazy? I'm not putting this private personal letter out there without his permission."
His personal letter is his subscription to Cheese Monthly.
Exactly. No one wants to know about PB's cheese subscription.
And then PB's like, hey, I don't want them having the inside track on what I choose for my fucking cheeses.
But without disrespect to you, you're a small YouTuber just like me. But you would get that. You would be like, hang on a minute. You would pick up on it and be like, hang on, where did this come from? I'm a bit concerned about where the source of this letter. Like, am I going to get into trouble? That's just a basic question you would ask.
I would be like, I'm already going to be demonetized right after I get monetized. Let's not add on to that.
Yeah, let's just not double down on that. Yeah.
I have no idea if I am going to get monetized if I ever get there. Because in between the last time I got monetized before they changed the rules and this time, I started speaking. And on top of that, I started swearing. I could just tell my videos aren't meant for fucking kids. They shouldn't even be watching my damn channel. There shouldn't even be any kids watching this one.
Yeah, I agree. Now let me swing back around because you missed the Joker talk. But Todd Phillips came out and he said fuck comedy in this woke culture.
Yeah, and that is why I've now got a poster of Todd Phillips up in my bedroom because I'm in love. I'm in love with this guy. First he tells the media to fuck off, and now he's telling everyone else to fuck off as well because comedy can't be done anymore the way that it should be done. And he's so right. That's why I love him. He's so right. You can't. It's so frustrating. The people who complain about comedy being offensive are the very same people who complain about every other fucking thing. And so they're never, ever happy. And they also don't laugh at anything because they don't get the jokes. And they don't understand that comedy, even when it's offensive, is there to, even if it's, let's talk about rape jokes. Let's say if it's rape jokes, right? And there's people in the audience that may have experienced sexual assault. And yes, I feel bad for those people. But the idea of the joke is not to offend them. It's to bring them some kind of levity in a terrible situation. So
exactly.
That they can laugh about it and not feel bad about it and not feel self-conscious about it. Because most victims of assault or sexual assault or any kind of assault feel some sort of shame about it. And that's why they are reluctant to talk about it. So when somebody else is talking about it and bringing some kind of levity to the topic, they can sit there. Nobody else in the audience, nobody else when they're watching it on TV at home knows that they're a victim, but they do. And to them, it's partly an outlet. So they can have a bit of a laugh about it.
And really quick, Megajitty1 says super chat. Hey y'all, suck it to me.
Hello, Megajitty1.
I love you, man. Great to have you. But yeah, he also said a great quote that I just said earlier. But he said, "I've noticed that the left only uses these words and these situations in order to push their own agenda." And I said, Todd Phillips, I never knew that you made stuff. First of all, that I liked, but secondly, that he was willing to have the balls. And Stevie, think about how ballsy this is. You got to be confident in your movie to come out of the gate swinging. Okay, so that already should get people confident in the film, because a director who comes out and says, you know what, fuck y'all, I did a movie and I'm gonna stand by it, right? And forget this woke culture and all of this nonsense. This is how I feel, and you're stupid if you're reading all of this into it. It's nothing but a movie, right? That's basically what the whole article is saying. And I think that that's great, and I'm glad that he has the balls to call out what we've been saying all along.
Yeah, and that's why I've got the poster up now in my bedroom, because in this day and age, you got to have massive nuts to come out and say that. And like you said, you got to be confident in your movie. But I can see why he's confident in the movie, because first of all, initially, like Todd Phillips was being asked to do like Marvel movies and DCEU type movies, but he refused, and because he didn't want it to be, he wasn't really interested. He said they were too loud for him and not his thing. So the fact that he refused that is a tick. And I've got nothing against the Marvel movies, that the comic book movies, nothing against them. But he said he wanted to do something different. This is way back in like 2016 or something. And so that's one thing. So the director has that attitude from the beginning, that he doesn't want to do the same old thing. He wants to do something artistic. He wants to do something different. And the second thing is Joaquin Phoenix, who's the same. He never wanted to do. He was approached about the same type of comic book movies as well. Everything we've seen in the MCU and all that. And he refused as well because he didn't want to be a part of that. But he did want to do something different. And so when the Joker came along, it was the perfect fit for him and the perfect fit for Todd Phillips. And both of them, being that they wanted that kind of artistic movie, are the perfect fit for this movie. And so I think that, combined with the fact that initially, although Scorsese dropped off after a while, he was initially a producer on Joker. And Bradley Cooper, say what you will about him, I think he's good behind the camera, like behind the scenes. So he's also produced Joker with Todd Phillips. So I think that all of those things combined, he can back up what he's saying with his movie being good. I think it is going to be fantastic. I really hope I'm right. If I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong. But all of those things are just it, and the way obviously it looks in the trailers. But I think that sort of thing has given him real confidence to come out and say what he wants and what he thinks. And I'm so bloody happy about it.
Yeah, and here's the thing. In this day and age, people are confident about their movies, and they're crap.
Yeah.
They're,
exactly.
it's not like a Ryan Johnson thing. It's like, he's legitly probably made a good film. Now, here's the interesting thing, getting the early release, because it was in the film festival circuit, and I got to actually hear the buzz surrounding it. You know what I think the biggest thing that pisses people off who are movie reviewers, or legitimately top critics like fucking Collider and all of them, is that this is a movie where they themselves, the shilliest of the shills, can't hit it on anything. Like, they have their review out. Watch their review. They tap dance around the fact that they like this film, right?
Yeah.
But they use those normal words like, there's going to be stuff in it that people might find offensive, those kind of disclaimer kind of things.
Yeah.
And, but it's funny because even them, they're in this kind of mode where they're like, well, if we say something bad about this and a lot of people go see it and they like it, we're going to look like a bunch of idiots. Even though they already did.
You know what's really offensive? Having people pay a lot of money for a movie that is complete shit. And they can't get a refund on it because they already sat through it.
Yeah. No, you're right. That is offensive. But, it's a good point you bring up, mate, because, the difference with this is that Todd Phillips, and Phoenix as well, but Todd Phillips knows, he's comfortable within himself knowing what he's done, what he's created is actually art, and it is actually a good film. Whereas, and he's facing that, and he's standing up to critics, he's standing up to the media, all that crap, SJWs. But the difference is with other movies, their movies that get called good, but they're actually crap, are pushed by the shill media. And that's where the this is a good movie comes from. It doesn't come from normally the director themselves first. It comes from the shill media saying, this is great, this is great, this is great. And then the director believes it and goes, yeah, this is great. And anyone who says it's not great is a fucking racist, homo, sexist, something. I don't know. You're something. You're a dishwasher.
Yeah.
And you don't like this movie. Whereas, I think Todd Phillips is just stuck to his guns the whole way, which, to me shows that he has supreme confidence in what he's created, whether everybody likes it or not, which is the important thing.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that I think he's doing something that more people, film directors and people need to do, is that He's not looking for validation within the media. He's looking for validation for the people who are going to see the movie. He wants your opinion. He wants the person who's going to be fucking giving him money. He's realized something that none of these idiots seem to get. Okay? At the end of the day, it's not the media who's going to pay money. They get free passes. They get press screenings. They're not paying to see your movie, right?
Yep.
These little weird SJW freaks, they're not going to pay a dime. They'll pick out stuff from your movie that they see on YouTube or a comment they see in an article, but they're not going to go and endorse your film. It's going to be people like me, you, Cyber, PB, the normal thinking moviegoer, the everyday Joe. That's going to be the person who's going to decide whether or not your movie's going to be a hit.
Yeah, exactly. And he's realized that what do you get out of the media anyway? Okay, so they push certain movies. They say this is good, that's good, whatever. But like you said, they don't pay money to see it, and he's realized that the negativity that the media puts on movies, i.e., Joker, actually gives it more publicity anyway. And I know a lot of people that were, pretty excited about going to see it and sort of wanting to see it. Then they heard about all this stuff with the SJWs and the security and the blah blah blah, and now they're really wanting to see it. So it's only hyped up the movie even more.
Yeah, and what do you think about this thing? I know you're not in the States, but this thing with the the Dark Knight Rises, right? And the shooting that happened. They're using this even in my legitimate business, my movie theater. They're using this as a tentpole to launch this ridiculous campaign, right? And how many years ago was that? And when have we had another movie theater shooting? Anyone know? Because I can't for the life of me remember any other movie. Like, I listed movies that were racially charged where they, within a certain urban section, they caused riots, right? Like Mississippi Burning and Rosewood. Those movies were highly controversial, but they weren't controversial because of guns and things like that. They were controversial because they showed slaves being hanged. And, that kind of sparked some feelings. But I mean, this is them trying to start something or put something in people's mind, right? They're planting this seed like this is such a dangerous concept. Oh my God, we're talking about chaos and we're using guns and bad language. Oh my God, and it's R-rated. Where you're supposed to use those things. Good God, no.
Yeah, it's like it's like they just sit down and they go, all right, what can we find that we can latch onto the back of and make that the reason for X, whatever we want the problem to be. Let's find something that we can latch onto and make it the cause of that problem. So in this case, it's like, oh, what movies are coming out? Anything R-rated? Oh yeah, Joker's R-rated. Okay, cool. Let's latch onto that and let's call it inciting violence. What? What are you even talking about? I mean, there are literally thousands, hundreds of thousands of violent movies about psychopaths, very similar to Joker, and not one of them has incited violence or created a mass hysteria and violence, and not one of them has had this kind of attention, saying that it's got violence in it. So
I agree. General Zod is a problem.
Well, thank you. I'm glad we agree because we should all agree all of the time.
Welcome, PB.
So what are you jokers talking about?
Hey, there it is.
There it is. PB, do you feel the need to dress up in a Joker mask and go shoot up your local theater or go take out the bear community?
No.
We were talking about Todd Phillips.
I know we brought this up a little bit last night, and I still find it totally fucking ridiculous that anybody thinks that a movie or any type of media incites this kind of violence. And I heard a little bit of what you were saying right before I jumped in. Oh, what movie were you talking about where they were showing the hanging of people?
Mississippi Burning.
It's not a problem to show that in a movie. It happened in the past. It's a movie.
Exactly. But this sparked a whole big thing, right? And on some level, I can understand when you're talking about history that rubs people the wrong way. It's a little bit of a sore subject, right? And especially depicting the way
History's a sore subject for everybody.
Exactly. It's not like everyone historically has had a golden, rosy, sunny day, okay? Historically, we've all done
Julius
fuck up
Caesar had a really great. Oh wait, no, that was a great day. He was stabbed to death.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It was a great day, apparently, for the senators.
No, it wasn't, because they freaking got killed next by his freaking.
Yeah, by his army, but I mean that.
No,
day,
not his army. Like his two fucking. What do you call them?
Octavius.
Apprentices? I'll just say apprentices because they came, they killed the senators, and then they created the Roman Empire, and it is a big story. Anyways, whatever you do, do not stab your current leader because you might create the next empire.
Thank you for that detour, Cyber. But no, right? So we have those ones where you can kind of go, all right, I see where this might be trending on controversy, but you know, they're sitting here and these reviewers can't grab this movie on anything else. So they got to bring up something that happened years ago. And Cyber pointed out a good point that the person who was convicted of this was crazy. And no one looked at that. They said, oh, it was the movie's fault.
And he was caught.
Yeah.
I always emphasize he was caught. There's people and shootings after that would kill themselves at the end, but this guy didn't. He hid in his booby-trapped apartment. They managed to get him. They found out he had all those mental.
I feel like a booby trap is a Me Too thing.
Who knows? This thing age? It might be.
A booby trap sounds like something I might get caught up in.
Totally. You got a super chat from Mega Jetty 1 for Stevie J.
Go ahead and read it, Stevie.
Oh, I can't. I'm driving.
He can't read the... Oh, my God. He's not supposed to read the super chat. That's not what I meant, Zod. Put it on the screen.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
I believe in you.
You should believe in me.
It's from 135 from Mega Jetty 1.
He said...
Stevie J is right about movies not inciting violence. I mentioned that in my video.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, it comes up to what it's always come up to. People. But these, you know, this PC culture we're living in, they don't want to, God forbid, they have to look at the person. No, they want to champion a movement. And it's all the games and the music and the violent R-rated films that are inciting.
Well,
we can't keep blaming shit. People need to wake up, look at themselves, and realize that humanity is a bunch of fucking bullshit people that are a bunch of dumbasses, and we are the ones to blame for a lot of stupid shit. Okay? Not just like when it matters we're to blame for stupid shit. No, there's a lot of things we're to blame. Can't just find a little thing to blame it.
I know that the analogies could just go on forever, but one day, many years ago, in a galaxy far, far away, I watched a movie called The Exorcist. Now, that was extremely violent and very disturbing. And at the end of that film, not once did I think about becoming an exorcist or about wanting to be possessed.
So you didn't start sacrificing dingoes?
No, leave those bloody dingoes alone. No, It is actual insanity to connect movies to violence like this. Absolute insanity. And it's my view that you can put any damn thing in a movie you want, but that doesn't mean people are going to like it, and it doesn't mean people are going to watch it. Case in point, Human Centipede. I'm never going to watch that because I know what it's about. It's about
Yeah, I have.
Is it about a
Yeah.
human centipede?
It is, but it's the way that the Human Centipede is made. So I've got no interest in seeing that. It sounds disgusting to me. But do I think just because it's a deranged story that it's going to cause some massive problem? No, of course not. I'm just not going to watch it. And if I did
Right,
watch it, I
because
would
it
pay
wasn't
for it.
made for you.
We can just
Exactly.
also show all of Stephen King's novelizations. Is that a fair?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, that's actually a good point. Take Cyber, because I just want to add on that because you brought up Stephen King, who's my favorite author.
Oh, jeez.
Take for instance The Mist, right? I love using that because it's the most fucked up ending ever, right?
No, it is not the most fucked up ending ever. It is awesome.
I don't know shit. I don't watch these things or read them. I'm not really a big
Continue.
horror fan, so.
Well, he's gonna tell you the ending, and it's good.
Yeah, dude turns around, right? They're trying to get out of this mist. It's full of creatures, right? They get into this car. They drive off, and it seems like a hopeless situation, right? These big, giant, fucking creatures from another dimension are everywhere. There's no military support. It looks bleak, right? Dude has Thomas Jane is in it. He has his what was it? Maybe his daughter or son? I think it was a son. Yeah.
How about we just say child, because we don't know what that child identifies as.
He has
That child could have been an octopus.
He has a child. He has the girl that he's interested in, and this older fella who
We call that girl that fine piece of ass. Okay.
Yes. And he has all these people, and he goes, okay, you know what? To spare us from the horrible, gruesome ending we're about to face, I only have one solution. We're gonna just fucking kill each other, right? I'm just gonna turn around, I'm gonna kill all of you guys, and then I'm gonna take the gun to myself, and I'm gonna shoot myself in the head. And fuck it, because the world is doomed. We're gonna do that, right? So he turns around, fucking shoots everybody in the head, right? Comes time to turn the gun on him, goes outside to the little misty part, puts the gun to his mouth, ran out of bullets. So he's sitting there and he's like, well, I wanted to go the easy way, but fuck it. He throws the gun down. He knows there's creatures in the mist, right? Just stands on the car, waiting for the end. What shows up? The fucking military. They're sitting there taking all the monsters out and, just mauling through all of these things. And by the end of the movie, had he just waited like literally 5 minutes, he would have seen the mist clear up and all of these people be saved, right? But he chose to kill everyone instead, ran out of bullets. Why the fuck you don't count the bullets you have in your gun before you do this plan, I don't know. But he runs out of bullets, and he's forced to live with the fact that he literally just murdered people, right? This is a dark ending. And when this came out, no one said shit about it. I mean, that's a really bleak, fucked up, horrible ending that has granted a good message, a pretty powerful, strong statement in that.
Wait,
but
what's the good message?
The message, not a good
Always give up or learn how to count.
message. Learn how to count.
Heck, I've never seen Seven, but I think everybody knows the head in the box. Anyone going to put somebody's girlfriend's head in a box?
I thought, never mind.
No, I have never wanted to put a squirrel head or raccoon head, or I don't know what husky dogs hunt and put it in a box.
Besides your ex, have you ever wanted to put a girlfriend's head in a box?
What? They would all have to be my exes, you putz.
Tommy, to bring home the point is that when violent scenes were made in these films, right, before we got Ghostbusters 2016, because I saw someone in the chat, SpongeBob, bring that up.
Yeah, you got to go back up and read that super chat when you get around to it.
Oh yeah.
So when you get around to it, make your point.
Before we had this PC culture develop, people weren't looking at, oh my God, he just shot all these people. It's violent, right? They were looking at the film for what it was and what the film was trying to speak to, right? That even in the most hopeless situation, you need to have hope because you'll get through it, right? That's what I took from that ending, was that he completely gave up, and had he have waited a little bit, they all would have lived through this ordeal, right? A lot of parallels can be drawn there. But no one looks at that in the movie anymore. They look at, oh my God, there's violence. It's going to incite violence in a mass audience. Well, we can't have that. That is what people are concentrating on. They're not concentrating on the movie and what the movie's trying to say, or whether it's enjoyable, or fuck, it's not real. You're supposed to go to the movies as escapism. They don't look at it anymore. They look at it as a fucking message or a public service announcement. Movies aren't messages unless they're based on a true story or they're intentionally trying to make a statement. If your movie's not intentionally trying to make a political statement or talk about something like that that's socially or politically relevant, it's just a way for you to escape for an hour and a half or 2 fucking hours. Not to sit there and think you can champion gun control laws. It's fucking ridiculous. Super chat from the Ancient One that says, the same is also true with video games. Furthermore, these boozos who keep blaming such need to wake up. That the 1990s is already over and long gone. I agree. There was a lot of censorship going on in the 90s with the video games and things like that. But, I mean, it's ridiculous. And you know what? I just want to say, speaking of clueless and how clueless these people are, I want to go to my next topic, which would be Clueless star Stacey Dash. Stacey Dash, 911 call. My husband put me into a chokehold. So, I dug this up mainly because I like the movie. I like the movie Clueless, and I was just like, "Hey, this seems interesting." So,
I don't know who this is, so
you've never seen Clueless?
nope.
That was like one of those '90s movies. Alicia Silverstone, I believe, was in it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Basically, most of these people never did anything with their careers.
Or like most people from the 90s stuff, because I never see anyone, I barely see anyone in 90s movies still doing shit today.
So,
haven't you noticed that? It's interesting.
Yeah, I've noticed it. 2:55 p.m. Stacey's manager, Nick Terry, just put out a statement claiming our report of Stacey's husband choking her was untruthful. I wanted to bring this up. So she had made a 911 call stating that her husband had choked her, but it was untruthful. However, if you listen to the 911 call, you hear Stacey very clearly state her husband put her in a chokehold and claim she had marks around her neck. We've obtained the 911 call, which you hear Stacey tell the operator she's been assaulted by her husband. She claims the husband of 15-year-old daughter got into her face and started the whole situation. We've obtained video from the arrest in which Dash is visibly upset. At one point, the officer strikes up a conversation with Stacey, asking where she's from and what she does for a living. Stacey reveals she's an actress who starred in Clueless. She also makes note of her stint as a political correspondent. Ah, damn, man.
Because it's a thing, and disclaimer, because you'll say it. What if she was choking herself for erotic asphyxiation?
Oh God, bring me back to the David Carradine situation.
I
I
think
was
I
just
butchered
thinking.
that word, but yeah. Come on.
I was just like, wow. When I heard about that story, I was like, well, I guess there's worse ways to go. I mean, I don't know if I want to be found with someone with a belt around my throat. Anyways,
Did you
sources
ever see
close.
Norm Macdonald's thing though? He said if he ever did that, although he wouldn't, he'd actually make it look like he was suicidal. Which is
that guy.
it's what you gotta do.
A source close to Dash tells TMC she acted in self-defense. The source claims Stacey's husband attacked first and attempted to choke Stacey, and she defended herself, which resulted in him getting scratches on his arm. Where told Stacey is the one who called 911, and she's arrested because she didn't have any marks on her, but her husband did. So she wound up being arrested in Florida for domestic violence over the weekend. TMZ has learned. Law enforcement sources tell us the Clues actor was busted on Sunday in Pasco County, where she owns a home after getting into a squabble with her new husband, Jeffrey Martin, and allegedly putting hands on him. I mean, I just think about this as a dude. That must be the most awkward 911 call. It's like, yes, hello. I'd like to please call. It's like, sir, is everything okay? Yeah, my wife's assaulting me.
I'd just call and say my wife's a psychotic bitch.
And then she tried to turn it on the dude and say, "Oh, he had me in a chokehold, but she had no defensive wounds on him." So I was like, that dude was sitting back with the cops going when they were going over the story because they wind up arresting her. And he's like, "Did you choke her?" No, I didn't. Well, what happened? And they see scratches on him and stuff, and he's like, yeah, she assaulted me. Come again?" we're told cops were called to the home around 7:45 p.m. to respond to a domestic dispute between Stacey and Jeff. Our sources say Stacey allegedly pushed and slapped him, and when officers arrived, they saw scratches on his left
arm. This is totally a sexual thing.
Stacey was taken into custody, where she's currently being held on a $500 bail. We're also told in these
How
types
does she
of
not have $500?
I don't know. I guess foolish money doesn't get you that far. We were told by local authorities often hold people for 24-hour cooling off period. The couple just got hitched last spring in a secret wedding ceremony down in the Sunshine State. Not much is known about her, albeit 1 year, other than the fact that he's a lawyer, or a lawyer. It's Stacey's 4th marriage. So
is that supposed to be like a racial stereotype? Why do we care that it's her 4th marriage?
So
why is that relevant?
You know how TMZ is. They always like to throw those things in. No,
I don't know how TMZ is because I don't watch that shit ever.
Yeah.
The only time I ever see it is when it just happens to be on in between recordings on my DVR, because I don't even remember which channel it's on. It's either on channel 5 or channel 11, which doesn't mean anything to anybody out there because I'm talking about the local ones from Green Bay. So what I mean to say is CBS or Fox. I don't remember what channel it's on, but it's randomly on.
The only thing I know about it is that Fluffy's referenced it in his stand-up.
So, here's the thing that I find funny. Guys are always painted in this light, right? That we're the
ones. Did you ever
ones
read that super chat from the ancient one from before?
Yeah, I did. Weren't you
Okay.
listening?
No, I wasn't listening for a while. My dog was throwing up.
Oh, is your dog okay?
I don't know.
So-
He's retarded.
Just really quickly, because I've got to jump off in a second, but I'm going to come back on in about half an hour.
Oh,
But just on
really?
this, but just on this thing, well, if I'm allowed, but
Well, that'll
just,
be awesome.
just on this thing with the domestic violence or whatever. Yes, it would be very embarrassing to make that phone call, but also very necessary, because unless you make that phone call, you're not going to get believed. No one's going to believe you. And he's lucky that he actually had scratches on him, because if your wife's attacking you, right? Let's just say any female's attacking you. The natural response is probably maybe just to try and push them away or swat their hands away or whatever.
Or, break their fucking arm, but continue.
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer.
No.
No, we don't
That's
encourage
what you
violence.
want to do. That's what you want to do, but you wouldn't do it. So you're stuck as a bloke. You can't beat the shit out of him like you would to another bloke, and you call up the police and you're like a laughing stock because you're calling up saying that some chick's beating you up. But what else can you do? Because if you don't make that phone call and they do turn up and they go, your wife just called, because you didn't make the phone call, so your wife just called, said you beat her up, you're under arrest. That's how it works. It's as stupid as that. Honestly, this guys that this happens to are lucky to have injuries on them, because then at least they're half believed, because a lot of others are just dismissed completely.
And it's funny you say that, because, there's this stigma, and especially, it all comes back to our main topic, which is that, the way this culture is, right? The same culture that's calling
Like,
Joker.
there's a main topic.
Yeah, I guess I'm trying to link it all together. Yeah, I'm getting fancy.
I gotta jump off real quick. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I'll jump back in soon.
All right, we'll still be going.
Cool. All right. Catch ya.
So
Talk to you later.
Talk to you later, Stevie. So it's like, there's, in this PC culture, right? It's become such a taboo thing that, like, now you can't even properly defend yourself as a male unless you have, like, physical injuring people down without actually hurting them, and I can do it. But sometimes my natural reaction doesn't go to that.
I don't want to know
training.
how you get the unicorn to go down with chocolate.
Hey, that's my first line of defense, all right? I have learned throw a chocolate bar goes a long way. That's what my mom told me, right? And, you can't do that now. You can't do that, because even if you don't touch
a lady, you never touch a lady, but you do put your hands on a fucking bitch.
And if you don't have marks, you're demonized and looked at this as this, like, hateful male, and they drudge up all this stuff, and then they go back to your past and they're like, oh, when he was in the 5th grade, he said, girl, that you should whoop a lady's ass.
Hold on. Mama Bear she says, for fuck's sake, don't throw the chocolate, because if it hits her, she's going to go from irritated to out for blood.
Thank you, Ma. That's about fair. See? Helpful information.
Well,
May save my life one day.
Don't throw the chocolate at her. You just got to throw the chocolate away from her. So if she's standing on the left side of the room, you'd be like, just gently toss it over to the right and be like, there's a chocolate bar right over there. I can see it.
But PB, because I know, I'm sure you have some strong feelings on this. What do you think?
Think about what?
This article and the thoughts about whether or not you should be able, as a male, to defend yourself against assault.
I mean, of
from a
course, you
woman
should be
or
able to
man.
defend yourself from assault regardless of who it's coming from. But just because somebody is attacking you doesn't mean you should beat them to within an inch of their life. Like I was just watching it happened to be on TV for a little while. I was watching Mr. Deeds.
Yep.
So he tries taking the handbag and then he chases that guy down and he just starts pounding the ever living piss out of him. No, that's not appropriate. Like, you can't be doing that for somebody that was trying to beat you up. It's called restrain. Like, if she's trying to beat you up with her pedicure claws, you got to restrain her claws.
Exactly, and I think there's various degrees of defending yourself. Like, if you're being scratched and attacked, you know, and your attacker happens to be a female, and you haul off and start punching the shit out of them, like you said, yeah, maybe that's crossing the line. But like, if you have to like flip them over your shoulder per se, or sweep them down to the ground, and like, you know, be like, hey.
I mean, I don't know the size difference. Like, if it was you and you're getting attacked by Lisa Leslie, like, she's got an advantage on you. Getting attacked by like Nia Jax, like, that's a 270-pound woman who's been she knows how to beat somebody in the face. Like, she broke Becky Lynch's face, so she knows how to punch a bitch.
Yeah, and you know that translates no matter male or female. No one likes being hit in the face. So, you know.
So
And
yeah, you got to be able to defend yourself no matter who it's from, but you can't take it to an extreme level when defending yourself. You have to understand who you are defending yourself from. Like, if I have to defend myself from Ronda Rousey, like, okay, well, kiss my ass goodbye. That's not happening.
yeah, you get
Like,
caught in one
hopefully
of those.
somebody is there to make a phone call on my behalf. Or I got multiple people there to help me. Like, I'm a full-grown man, but she is a trained fighter. I am not a trained fighter.
I mean, I'm trained in martial arts, mixed martial arts, jiu-jitsu, all sorts of shit, and I am proficient in Taekwondo. But even me, if like Ronda Rousey slaps on one of those arm bars or something, there ain't shit I'm doing. Except for I'm tapping in hopes that she's abiding by the rules of UFC.
Okay. Mama Bear's got a point. She says just throws out at her, PB. That's what I'll do.
I mean, is it weird that I might actually be okay with that?
I know that you'd be okay with that. 100% you'd be okay with it.
I mean, you know, it's Ronda Rousey. Be all right with being slapped into a hold, some kind. Just saying. But I mean, yeah, I mean, it's
Oh, Tommy, that's excellent. I just read the one above it. I should be able to at least palm their head and keep them at bay.
yeah, you know, and it's kind of funny because in this type of environment that
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to laugh. GP said, you could always tell her to go force herself. LOL jokes, Mark H style.
oh, that's great. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where you know, it's going to get harder for males to plead their case, especially with, as we circle back around, the culture is getting to where, you know, you're automatically at a disadvantage legally. You know, you can't do anything. Cyber, what's your feelings on this? Like, if you were being attacked, would you snap back?
I mean, most people will try to defend themselves. Although I will say this, at the end of my school year's things, the school preferred that you not fight back. I'm not kidding.
Oh yeah, I
no,
know.
like
I know.
regular like bullies, like, oh, don't fight back. So run.
Yeah,
So
I
in order to protect my physical health, I can't defend myself.
and it's
That's
interesting you bring that up
Whoa!
because
You got like a mandible with all kinds of teeth like that, and all kinds of excellent agility, and you can't be defending yourself.
Nope.
That doesn't seem fair.
yeah, and I mean I've
Somebody
gone
put a muzzle on you.
No, they don't, but they suggest you just don't do it. Never
and
got in a fight, but that's what they always said. Oh, if you get in a fight, don't fight
Just
back, or you'll
bark,
both
don't
be
bite.
suspended or expelled. So
They said just bark, don't bite.
Yeah, even that one of my teachers said, yeah, it's kind of dumb. So instead of teaching how to defend yourself, they just want you to kind of run away. It's funny when the teacher think something's wrong with that rule.
I mean, no, at no point, and there are certain times when you're younger where the whole walking away thing was an option, but at no point did a bully get deterred when you said, hey, you know what? I'm just going, this guy's coming in hot. I'm just going to fucking walk away. It's like,
I've heard people say that before.
That's the thing, though, too, is like they never take account. What if you can't walk away? What if you're surrounded?
Yeah.
Well, they'll all
Surrounded
get
by
that, but
what?
then you'll
Surrounded
be
by
in like a body
hyenas?
cast. I don't have a problem with hyenas.
Generation Production puts, hey, General Zon's Phantom Zone. And guys, true story. A few months back, a crazy woman threatened me with a knife and threw bricks through my window, and I did nothing because I knew if I did, they would blame me.
This is why you get security systems and cameras.
Yep, pound you too.
Like, yeah, it's getting to a point where we're getting scared to even say anything because then they turn on you and they're like, oh yeah, you're wrong because you should just walk away. Like, they're taking the whole turn the other cheek thing a little bit too literal. Okay, there's some points
No,
where
they want you to turn the other cheek so far that both of your cheeks get blown off, like what Tommy was talking about in his comment. He said when he lived in Trenton, New Jersey, they said never try and defend yourself, even if they may try to kill you. Call us. Tell me, how does that make sense, Tommy? Nothing in New Jersey makes sense.
like, yeah, if I'm sitting there,
It's way too far north to be a fucking garden state. It doesn't make sense. How the fuck is that a garden state? How is not a southern state one of the garden states? Explain that to me. Like, they can grow oranges in Florida year round.
I don't know, man. My feelings about Jersey, but anyways,
yeah, it's your favorite state in the union.
It's
where your football team plays. The New York Football Giants of New Jersey.
Don't remind me. Stupidest fucking move. But anyways,
gotta love East Rutherford, baby.
I love what Curtis said. Now you have to run into their punches. It's getting ridiculous. Like,
no, I don't run.
Like, they made this school assembly they wanted me to be a part of, where it's like an anti-bullying thing, but they were saying, oh yeah, they want you to sit down and have a discussion.
They wanted a villain to be part of an anti-bully campaign.
I know, imagine that.
I don't think they understand how this works.
It was like, okay, I go, so their pitch was, if you're having problems, right, you're getting your ass beat every day, what you need to do is you need to confront the bully. And I go, okay. And they're like, you need to walk up to them and you need to say you want to discuss the issue.
Bop them right in the nose. Oh, shit.
No, they said they're telling kids, go discuss the issues. What?
Kids don't have fucking conversations, okay? It's not like high school.
Why wouldn't they?
Right.
No, I don't
if you're
understand.
fucking elementary school,
No,
you're
that's
not
fucking
gonna do any
ridiculous, 'cause
words.
they're
You're gonna
not-
do physical.
They gotta. No, that's incorrect. They gotta play to their strengths. Why wouldn't they tell them to go up to the kid and ask the kid for their phone number or their handle on Facebook or Twitter so they can message them later, because they're not going to use their words, they're going to use their thumbs so that they can message each other and work through this issue about how they're not actually fucking enemies, but they're actually the best of friends.
Like, you know,
Kids don't talk to each other, they fucking message each other. Like, what the fuck are you two kids doing in the same room? Oh, we're messaging each other. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Are you serious? Was that really just the answer? Why are you not just using your voices? I mean, I swear to God that if that were to continue in 100, 200 years, people would forget how to talk out loud. And then in 1,000 years or something like that, people would just start being born without vocal cords. You would not be able to speak. We'd lose the ability because we wouldn't use it. You know, use it or lose it. That's how it works, man. That's fucking evolution. But fucking thumbs would be extra long so that you can reach everywhere on your fucking 12-inch fucking tablet. We'd have these 8-inch fucking thumbs, man. They'd be epic. You'd be like, oh, I can get a fucking giant fucking phone now, perp, because I got this giant fucking thumb. It reaches everywhere. I got a go-go gadget thumb. I can reach everywhere with my fucking thumb, everywhere now. It's wonderful. No, it's terrible. I'd rather just talk to people like I am right now. Fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, and you know what? You know, I love what Curtis says about that. He goes, let's not fight. Got a Twitter? Wow. Cow. Loosh. Kabunk. You know, that's true. You know, we have to give a seminar or we have to give a discussion about bullying people through the internet. You know what? I'm actually more disappointed that we're not using words now. These kids are going on social media and saying, oh yeah, Katie sucks, and making a thread about it.
What if Katie does suck?
We're not talking high school, PB. God.
Sometimes Katie sucks. We had 2 Katies in my class. Sometimes they sucked. Sometimes they didn't. Sometimes they were being bitches. Sometimes they weren't. I mean, let's get real now. Sometimes people do suck. Sometimes they don't.
Well, I mean, it's just ridiculous. The whole thing is just so ridiculous. And, you know, I don't know.
I mean, what does this have to do with Star Wars?
Absolutely not.
Where is the bullying in Star Wars? Who got bullied in Star Wars?
Ryan Johnson.
Like Anakin got bullied in Star Wars in Episode 1 by the other pod racers?
Yeah.
Like he was getting bullied by a guy who walked on his hands and ate with his feet? Is that not how Sebulba worked?
Oh yeah. I was just actually reading the chat.
What the fuck? What do you mean you were reading the chat? You're going to read this message you put up?
Yep. Matt's Mama Bear. There was a little boy who bullied little Bear last year to the point she had to change classes. He got in a fight with one of my friend's sons last week. I high fives my friend's son. So, yeah.
I assume she means she high-pawed him.
Yeah.
But bears still have 5 toes, so it counts.
But let's talk about something that brings people.
Star Wars?
No, but you could have it at Star Wars.
I have no idea. I don't see anything on the screen except for telescoping bullshit. Oh, here we go. Now I see a map of.
Yeah, I saw this
something.
bullshit. I don't know anyone that eats fucking almond joy and says they love it.
That's because coconut is fucking terrible.
I've never met anyone here. I mean, I know my mom kind of likes it, but
My
I've never
wife
met
likes
anyone.
almond joy.
I never met anyone here in Minnesota that says, "Oh yeah, I like almond joy."
Oh, that's because Minnesotans are ridiculous, eh?
I mean, it could be worse. We could all be like sneaking in the baked beans, man. Look at North
It
Dakota.
could be totally worse.
I mean, it's at least it's way better than being a bastard who likes black licorice.
Oh my god. Fucking black licorice is awful.
It
Look at
is.
Texas.
Oh god.
Fuck.
But I'm gonna
Yeah.
say.
What are we looking at? I can't see anything. Zoom the fuck in.
Yeah, click one of the other pictures, or click on that
Like,
picture.
what are we looking at here? I like candy, but not trash candy. Everything that Cyber said just now is trash candy. Where's the good candy? You showing DMs again?
It showed like American craft cheese for Wisconsin. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, but that's singles. I mean, I get Wisconsin
No,
probably
fuck
would bring
that.
in
No,
cheese, but it's
no,
not going to be the
no,
fucking
no.
craft singles.
Ugh, no,
No,
you are correct.
I was going to, but for some reason the
It's like-
page isn't pulling up. I was going to bring up the map where they were saying it is about candy, and it goes by.
Yeah, bring up the candy map. I love Candyland. Bring it up.
I'm trying to.
Villain,
Twitter is having issues right now.
I believe in you. Bring it up.
There was
Oh,
something
now.
on the. Oh yeah, there was
have
something
the
on there,
power.
and if you go look at the California on there, you can tell this map wasn't made by America. Just click
Favorite
that one.
movie
Yeah.
candy by
Oh no, wait, not that one. Fuck. I saw one earlier today. Had California had fucking Kit Kat, and
I mean, Kit Kat's
it was
pretty
yeah,
good.
yeah. But the Kit Kat logo was fucking Nestle Kit Kat.
Oh, you motherfucker! I don't know why this is having issues.
Like
But
that's
Instead of what?
not
Who the hell makes Kit Kat?
Nestle doesn't make them in America.
Wow. Yes,
They're
so
made
my
by-
Twitter is having issues right now.
They're made by Hershey.
So
Would you
yeah,
stop? Son of a bitch, Zod. Stop mixing up your crystals.
My Twitter is also acting up too. I think it's Twitter because
No, Twitter was being a bitch earlier. It wasn't letting me send pictures. It wasn't
has
letting me send gifts.
at all times, every time it always has at least a few hashtags, even the global ones, local ones. I've had them the global. A while ago, I had an ad, and then recently it's popped up as no items. So yeah, I think Twitter's having some problems.
yeah. What else is
I
new?
don't. Wait a second. Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't. The bi anthem. I don't get it. Why don't I get it? We talking bisexual anthem, Mads Mama Bear? The silence is deafening, except we never get silence because we have that whistle.
Keep going. I'm actually googling it.
Oh, yeah, she said definitely bisexual. Interesting. Oh, I get it now. Never mind. That's funny stuff. Sometimes you feel gender fluid, sometimes you don't. What are you looking up now, villain?
Okay, I was bringing this up. It was talking about
A whole nother subject? Bless you, puppy.
No, this is a motherfucker.
Oh my god, this guy. He's like, I got stuff ready to go for my show. We're gonna do a show tonight. And I'm gonna wing it.
It
Wing
was
it.
in Twitter. Here we go.
I'm gonna wing my Twitter.
There we
Twitter
go.
has wings.
No, I got to go through something different because Twitter is having a connection. Okay, so we're looking at the candy by favorite states, right?
Wow, this is like the
Whoa.
fourth different version I've seen of this.
But there's where you were talking about almond joy.
Hold on,
Yeah,
let's see
but
which
it's not
state
in
do I
Minnesota.
want
Now
to be
it's $100
from.
grand, which
Hold on.
I don't see many people taking that one, but it's still it's a yeah. Look at you could tell
Why
this
does
was
it-
made by
how-
a British person. Look at the Kit Kat. It says Nestle in the corner.
How did we get so many candies in Wisconsin?
This is the fourth. This is the fourth different map I have seen.
Like, I want to be from Colorado, Iowa, Idaho. I feel like I'm going the chocolate route. Maybe Utah. I love me some nerds. Nevada. I guess I could pick North Carolina instead of Idaho, except they got hurricanes out there, so I'll stick with snow. I already know how to handle snow.
But yeah, this is the
Definitely. I don't think that this is actual candy because I find it hilarious that it says Airheads for the state of Washington. That's funny.
Yeah, that's not the one that was released recently either. I found it. It was thrown
Wait,
on
what's
Discord
Arizona?
on screen sharing.
Yeah, switch to the dog.
that was the one that was on Twitter.
Switch to the Discord dog.
Oh no, wait, he's got it. He's got it now. Oh no, yeah, I got it. See, this one,
Can you zoom in at all?
not here, no. Which sucks. Okay. I mean, I can, but I want to stop
How is
sharing.
this? I don't understand. If it's a candy map, how does it say cheese slices? That's not fucking candy, and nobody takes it. Is it for movies?
Yes.
Who the fuck takes cheese slices to a goddamn movie? That's never happened before. This is not a real thing.
See? That's the map.
Yeah, I know it's the map. Nobody takes cheese slices to a fucking movie, guy. Like, nobody even takes blocks of cheese to a movie. Not even me.
And
this is all just stereotypical bullshit.
It's not even like a cheese slice. Like, you know, you get the sharp cheese that I got that was delicious from when I visited. It's not even that.
Sharp cheese.
Yeah, you know.
Okay, hold on. I got to mute for a while.
They said Kraft cheese slices. No, don't go to Twitter. But Kraft cheese slices. That's what. Who brings in whole Kraft cheese slices? They're like, you know what I can use right now? John Wick's a great movie. I want some Kraft cheese. Good thing I brought my Kraft cheese slices.
When me and my buddy went to Shazam. He got Skittles. I've snuck in fucking Twizzlers. Neither of us fucking thought, hey, let's grab a fucking almond joy. No, because I don't see them anywhere except around this time of year, which is Halloween.
Yeah,
because almond joys suck.
Yeah,
just like Mounds. It's not a real candy.
Here's an
it's
interesting
a way of
question.
tricking you into having some type of fucking coconut.
Here's the question, though. Who the fuck is sneaking in baked beans?
I mean, people, what? This is not, this can't be.
This is how it's, it's bullshit, because it says it's supposed to be movie candy, not this. And here's the other thing, Walmart and Target. Well, you already know you're getting weirdos from Walmart.
Wait a second. Wait a second. What are wax bottles?
Those are
those, yeah, it's like, it's also known as nickel nip. They're bottles and you pull them and it's just basically like a drink or a sugar water.
Oh, okay.
Something in there.
Gotcha.
It's like it's like
no, I know what
sweet.
you're talking about now.
Yeah.
They got that little twist off top thing.
No, you bite it off.
I mean, but I gotta say, when I've gone
if you're a dog,
They don't twist off though. You have to bite them off because it's
Whatever.
wax.
oh, okay, I know it. Okay,
yeah,
Gotcha.
you've had them before, but
yep.
I mean,
I don't think that this is a real thing. I think
no.
you've bamboozled us
does.
again, Zod.
That worked good for me. No.
Somebody just made this up. It's totally fake. Nobody's
it's based
sneaking
on
fucking
social-
baked beans into a
it's-
goddamn movie.
It's based on
Like you're
social
sneaking
media.
a can opener in too, or did you put it in a plastic bag so you could drink it?
You
put a
it's based
thermos of
on
baked
social
beans?
media of Walmart and Target. But
Fucking thermos of
go
baked
back to my
beans.
screen, Zod. See this? This is a very important word right here. It's very, very important.
Which
Yeah,
I thought is
not-
funny because
Not real.
So it is.
But Bunch of Crunch is really good. So let's go to Montana.
Oh yeah, I like that. We get that going to the movie theater too sometimes.
Can you read Tommy's last 3 messages, Zod, real fast?
paging Mike Hunt. Has anyone seen Mike? Oh, fuck you. I know where that was going.
Oh, you're such a poor sport. Has anyone seen Mike Hunt? Have you seen Mike Hunt?
I was leaving. I was like, oh, I know where this is going. So yeah, I mean, I found it hilarious because when I saw that, I was like, even like doing something unofficial that was like a media thing, who like put down on the poll, oh yeah, I sneak in baked beans.
I mean, and nobody's sneaking baked beans anywhere ever at any point in all of history. Think about it. Have you ever heard of a story where somebody has had to sneak baked beans anywhere for anything ever?
No.
No, this is not a real fucking thing. You son of a bitch.
Hey.
Both of you, you both fucking got me. You're like, hey, we've seen this thing on Twitter. It's totally real.
I didn't see it.
Totally
I saw it
fake.
on Discord and it was tiny.
Oh yeah, Discord from Twitter, Twitter from Discord, all the social medias working together to fake out the fucking white man.
No, it was in a. I should say this. It was in memes.
Oh yeah, well
When I
this
found
was
it.
was very meme.
Oh yeah.
But
The-
speaking of real life stories,
Ooh, Star Wars.
oh my God, no.
What do you mean no? We're not
And
going to talk
out of-
about the rumors.
No. out of
Palpatine's
control-
going to fight people
Yeah. An out of control beverage
at the
vehicle
airport.
goes on a tear at a Chicago airport until a ramp worker saves the day in bizarre video.
That's it. That's all you need to explain. Do that. Show the video, and we're done with that topic.
So yeah, hold on. I'm gonna show this video.
And then we're done with the topic
gotta-
because there's no point.
Stevie J.
What's up?
Holy shit.
No, I'm not holy shit. I'm not. I'm really not holy shit. But I do have
All
flesh,
right.
I do have flesh and bones.
So, Stevie, are you ready to see a beverage cart go out of control? And
I've never been more ready.
yes, there was a brave worker, a man who stepped up
What?
in
How
a
did
time
you get
of crisis.
hold on a second for Zod. How did you get the cockpit of your plane to be so luscious?
It's a United Arab Emirates plane, my friend. So that's why it's so luscious.
Nice.
It's made with rich fucking gold oil money.
Okay, I love it. I love it.
So you're in Donald Trump's Air Force One?
I'm in Space Force.
Yeah, he's better than Air Force One. Look at that. He's got lamps sitting on the floor. He's got drapes.
Yeah, the carpet matches the drapes as well. Amazing.
Oh, screen share magic. So we're gonna just watch this video because I'm not gonna read this whole entire article.
Don't read the article
I'm
at
just
all.
gonna
Just
have-
show the damn video.
That's down.
Listen to the dog. Woof.
Okay, let's see if it's going to play for me because this thing is slow as shit.
Yes, it's buffering.
Oh god, an ad. Fuck
I'm
you,
ready.
ad.
I'm ready.
No,
I'm ready.
no,
Zod.
I did not click on. I did not click on the ad.
I'm
You son
waiting.
of a bitch.
I'm waiting.
We weren't meant to cover this subject. Next subject.
We were
The thing is
totally
really
meant to cover this.
This thing's boring. You've probably already seen it on the internet net already, and if you haven't,
We
you'll see it
make
tomorrow.
health plans easier than business.
And this will be a freaking meme throughout the whole month. So I've already seen like 4 of them.
Or is it playing? Can you make it go full screen here, guy?
Yes, although it's buffering.
Unbuffer
Hold
it.
on. I hate Phantom Zone technology. It's still buffering. This feels like the 90s with like AOL. When it's like, please wait to buffer. Okay, hold on.
You
I'll
just
let it
you
go
said AOL, and the only thing I'm remembering is the dial-up sound.
Everybody loves the dial-up sound.
Gives me flashbacks. It's not good
Flashback
one.
sounds to what?
I don't know. That shit was loud.
Around and around it goes, hey?
Yep. Let me pause a little bit. Let the video catch up. God damn it.
You
How
won't
does a
see it. The
40
frame rate doesn't support it.
The StreamYard duck does not like the frame rate.
No.
All right, we're good. Next
Bad.
subject.
This was terrible.
Next subject.
Stevie, I'm sorry, Stevie,
What are you sorry about?
that you didn't get to see the video the way you wanted to.
Yeah, no, this is fucking bullshit. I am out.
Just make sure
Just
your
kidding.
parachute is
Just
packed
kidding.
properly.
So,
Yeah, I don't want to
yeah.
jump out from space.
From space. So, yeah, I found that funny because we were talking about food. So, would you guys risk your life to stop an out of control beverage cart?
Nope.
Whoa. Is there alcohol on it?
No, it didn't look like there
I
was
don't know, a bunch
anything
of
on
shit
it.
falling out of it.
What kind of
If
beverage
there's
are we talking?
alcohol on it? Right. What this has got I gotta know the kind of beverages that are on it. Because if
If
it's
there's-
just got Pepsi and fucking Coke on it, no. But if it's got the Miller Lite and the bourbon on it, absolutely. Like that's alcohol abuse. You can't let that shit go to waste.
I can picture
I feel
you
like
going-
it's discrimination against alcohol. You know, alcohol lives matter.
Absolutely. You can't be letting that absolute get cracked all over the freaking tarmac.
Hey. Nice one, PB. Nice one.
I mean, like, dude, that was hilarious. Did you see the guys too? They were all sitting like looking at each other like, "Are you gonna jump in?" Man, I just got a pit cut. I ain't fucking jumping on that curb.
Yeah. You know what they
Road
were
spikes
thinking?
exist.
They look at each other and they're all at the same time going, "Fuck that! Fuck
Yep.
that! I ain't fucking doing it."
Did you get a raise this week?
Yeah.
Nope. Yep. Fuck that.
I didn't get a fucking pay rise. You could let the whole fucking thing burn.
I was just like, I'm looking at this article. I'm like, yeah, that is hilarious. Just because of the fact of it wasn't so much what the video was about, because I know it was a stupid like running joke thing. It was more of the fact that like I love the reaction.
No, it was a running cart thing.
I love the running reaction from the people because they were like, yeah, we're not going to tackle this thing. And then fucking the guy who got a raise jumps into a fucking another vehicle and plows it down. He's like, pussies. Just shows up.
So just to be clear, hang on a minute. Just to be clear, do we know what the fuck actually happened? Like, do we know what it was that caused it?
It was apparently a malfunction.
Skynet.
No shit. It was a malfunction. Of
That's
course it
what
was.
they-
But
No,
what was the malfunction? That's what
Fucking
I'm
Zod. Oh my god, it was a malfunction.
Oh, got it. I'll shut
I
up
don't
now.
know.
It was a
Terrence isn't
malfunction.
here, so we don't have a good, explanation from the mechanical.
So then why wouldn't you just say that? You could have said, well, they don't really give an explanation other than it went fucking batshit crazy. We would have been like, oh, well, that's nice. Fucking machines.
Yeah, it must have been Skynet.
It
Must have
has
been
to be fucking Skynet. They're like, this will really piss off the humans. We're going to steal their fucking alcohol.
So does that mean that Miles Bennett Dyson never died then? And Skynet continued?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. When's that
'Cause I
movie
don't-
come out?
I don't know, soon, I guess.
Well, they said it's going to skip it 3, 4, 5.
Good. Good. As far as I'm concerned, right now, Terminator 2 is the last one that exists.
No, it's going to be the last one. Terminator 2 is the same as episode 6. It's the end of the story.
Correct. Correctamundo.
Speaking of the end of everything we know, or the end of the story, I will show
we're talking Star Wars, finally.
Woo! Star Wars.
No,
Let's get that shit
Oh.
on. Oh.
we're talking about something that has infiltrated our very government. And we may think that our very own
Space
Mad
Wars.
Squirrel has connections to this infiltrator.
Oh, so you were going to read the super chat from Mega Jetty from 236?
No, but you can.
236. Isn't that a long time ago?
Oh,
No,
somebody
what-
didn't call a
No,
fucking
it's from 3 minutes
exterminator.
ago. He said, some squirrels have been visiting my backyard lately. Does Mad Squirrel have an answer for this? And I responded to him, no.
So, a mouse causes a scurrying among White House press after falling in reporter's lap.
Is this a fucking slow news day, Zod?
This is a Zod news day, apparently.
This is the last one, and I'm getting really bored of these.
This is the last topic.
No.
No,
No, it's not.
So
We didn't even
mouse-
talk
has
Star
to be-
Wars yet.
Fuck you, I'm not talking Star Wars. A mouse
What?
fell into the lap of an NBC reporter while he was in the White House on Tuesday, causing a stir among his colleagues. A mouse literally fell out of the ceiling in the White House booth and landed on my lap, NBC reporter Peter Alexander announced on Twitter.
There's supposed to be a person, that goes around like these places and, regularly sprays them and shit so the mice don't get in. Huh?
You would think so,
There's supposed to
but-
be someone. There's supposed to be someone doing this shit. Someone
I've heard-
slacking.
I've heard from a certain Russian squirrel that they are now using mice as part of their infiltration team. The tiny rodent appeared to run behind electrical cord and eventually caused a stir in the White House briefing. So here we go. Let's see the video here.
Is the video gonna work? Am I gonna be able to see the video? Does the frame rate support your Twitter bullshit?
Yep. Look at that fucker go. Hold on.
I didn't see
I
anything.
can't see it. It's paused.
Where's the mouse?
Hold on. At about right here. It like scurries across and makes a sound. Look, there he is. Look at the
Where?
elusive-
Where?
We can't see it because you do fucking frame rate. We tried explaining this to you earlier.
Is
No,
it a
it's
ghost?
paused, and I don't see anything.
Is it a ghost mouse?
Oh, he's up on like that. The person can't even fucking hold the camera right.
What a
Like,
fucking
I don't
idiot.
see a fucking thing.
I
What is
see
happening?
like a catering card or something. Is that what that is?
Yeah, like they're in a back
And-
room or some shit.
Some kind of weird colander with a star in the middle of it. What the fuck's that?
Time to buy a cat for the White House.
Right?
It doesn't have to go
They gotta
with the
get some
president when he
pussy up in
leaves.
the
It
White
just
House.
stays in the White House. We'll all forget about it.
Well, it's just like real life. I didn't see the Disney mouse stealing my Star Wars. I didn't see that mouse either.
Yeah, let's see the mouse in this video. Nope,
Hold on.
still didn't see a
No.
fucking thing. What the fuck? What the hell?
Wait, the plastic bag just moved. The plastic bag just moved. Let's see it again. The plastic bag. Go back to it.
Right in here. You can.
That's
Yeah.
the mouse?
That's
Yeah.
it. Really?
Yeah. And it scurries
Oh,
across.
sure
here.
shit. Sure shit.
It's like the elusive Bigfoot. It's scurrying across. And it makes a squeaking noise as it goes back.
Okay, now play that video again. Now that I know where to fucking look. 'Cause
Okay, hold
nobody
on.
can highlight this goddamn mouse at all.
Okay, so right here. No. hold
No,
on.
just play the whole video again. No, just, oh my god. From the start.
Yep. I looked away. I can still see the plastic bag.
So it's going to be up by the wall. God, that video is terrible.
That's fucking.
You really
That is
have to
so
watch
bad.
it in slow motion.
That is-
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm done.
That's worse than the editing.
You said
in,
that wasn't the
the
last
Hitman's
problem-
subject. So go to
Bodyguard.
the
So-
next one.
Shit house.
It's Trump's fault that there's mice in the White House, hey?
Yeah,
Because
that's what
he
they're-
came in there and got rid of all of the pussy.
All right, was that the last topic, or was there one more that I missed?
No, there's gonna be.
Yeah,
one.
we gotta talk about Star Wars yet.
No.
What the hell did
Yeah,
I miss?
we
I
have to
read the
talk about Star
whole
Wars.
description, and we covered
We gotta
everything.
talk about all the rumors.
No, Squirrel added one more.
But
So I found that funny because apparently they're trying to spin it like President Trump is so incompetent that these press people were assaulted by this mouse that fell out of the ceiling.
well, what if they
Assaulted?
just threw
What?
the mouse in there for fucking shits and giggles?
Hang on. Is
How
that
do
what
you
the
get
story was?
assaulted by a... Oh my god.
Is that what the story was?
Yeah, they said it fell out of the ceiling and the press guy felt assaulted.
Well, put handcuffs on that little motherfucker and put him in jail. Case closed.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine someone like, you know how we're gonna get these backstabbing press bastards back? All right, we're gonna carefully craft this plan. We're gonna put a mouse in the ceiling, and then right when this fucker sits down from NBC News, it's gonna fall right in his lap. That'll show him.
Yeah, but they love Disney, mate, so it doesn't make any difference. They would love that. They love Disney. So a mouse falling in their lap is just like a porn star falling in your lap. Gold. Gold.
He's like, the one reporter says that he jumped back and then realized what it was. And then they go and they terrify the poor mouse. You know, he's just trying to find some cheese or some shit. And they follow him around with a camera.
Oh, Jesus.
You know, it was a Wisconsin mouse. It was just looking for some cheese.
Mouse harassment is real. Shit.
That's for sure.
Oh my God! So Mad Squirrel brought this up to us. Hold on.
Is she not showing up tonight? Did she say if she was?
I don't know. She came in as a Russian mouse yesterday, so she might be infiltrating the stream.
Oh, okay.
But actor.
I don't
Jason
know what
Momoa.
a Russian fucking mouse is. Does anyone know what that is?
It's a mouse that comes from Russia, I think.
Yeah, we got to check to make sure it's not stealing information.
Stevie, that was such a fucking Zod answer.
I know, that's why I said it.
You son of a bitch.
So, I feel like Jason Momoa may be taking his Aquaman thing a little bit too
Excellently. What?
It's
Jason
method acting.
Momoa, actor and ocean activist at the small islands of like, I picture like Jason Momoa going, "Hey, can I keep this trident and the Aquaman suit? Why?
And my ridiculously tight pants.
Because
My
I'm gonna
man.
go champion the ocean." So this is about his panel for the Small Islands Activist event. And Squirrel felt that we should play this. So let's
Tommy said whale, dolphin, different whale, fish, something, octopus, something. I can't see all of it on this keyboard.
Maybe Dolph Lundgren's going to get involved as well.
Oh God, then you wouldn't be able to fucking understand the press call.
Those are some colorful fucking chairs, man.
They really
I know.
are. Are they at Google or something?
Your Excellencies, distinguished Gellert.
We're still in the same thing, or are we on something else now?
Yeah,
Something else.
you as a singular representative of all nations.
This also seems boring.
Oh, hold on, pause. You got to turn the volume up.
Yeah, he talks really low. Hold on a second.
Native Hawaiian, born to a mother from Iowa, I have seen how one place can be oblivious to another. The issues facing an island can feel so far removed from that place that is landlocked in the middle of our country. However, with the foothold in two worlds, I quickly began to see how a problem for one will soon become a problem for all.
Before we continue, I feel like this is the pitch for Aquaman 2.
Yeah.
It is.
Press conference. I feel like they're literally shooting the scene for a sequel.
Yep, I think you're right.
Like I'm waiting for him to go. So all you land-loving bastards that go into my ocean, I will smite thee.
As a human family, through innovation and creativity, we have elevated ourselves and perceivably stand as the most powerful beings on earth. Yet our ego, our fear, and our relentless drive for profits have made us the only species willing to force disharmony with the natural balance of our world.
Unlike the Atlanteans.
Consequence of forgotten tradition.
Does anyone else feel like this was exactly that? Like, from the script of Aquaman? I swear to God, I've heard some of this in Aquaman.
Yep. I'm pretty sure it is.
We suffer a collective amnesia of a truth that was once understood. The truth that to cause irreversible damage to the earth is to bring the same into ourselves. We, the island nations, and all coastal communities are the front lines in this environmental crisis. The oceans are under
Sure.
emergency. Entire marine ecosystems are vanishing with the warming of the seas, and it's the waste of the world and our waters.
Yeah, but what about all of the ecosystems that we're creating with the warming of the seas?
All I keep on thinking about is Aquaman.
This is boring, and I think we should wrap it up.
No, we're watching Aquaman.
We're literally watching the sequel to
This is
Aquaman.
Terrence's favorite fucking movie ever.
we should mess with Terrence and be like, hey, we just got a clip from the latest Aquaman.
Get him to do a trailer reaction to it.
Yeah. It'll be like first one in the theater. First one.
We are a disease that is infecting our planet.
And we need to be
God, he's a
extinguished. That's all.
self-hating human.
Yes,
Oh.
yes, we're a disease. That's why we need to be extinguished, and that's why I don't give a shit what happens to the planet. A meteor could strike and kill us all, and I don't give a shit.
Yeah, but you're a dog.
Humanity needs a reset.
Jesus Christ. All right.
Hey, Todd, you're fine. You'll be immune to the fucking impact of a meteor.
True.
I won't.
At the depths of the Mariana Trench, we are discovering nanoplastics. And shockingly, there are more plastic particles in the ocean than the stars in the Milky Way.
Sure.
I always find that funny when people say that shit.
Nope. Apparently, there's more plastic.
No. There's no bunch of fucking stars all over, man.
Entire islands are drowning into the sea due to the enormous volume of emissions generated by the first world countries.
All right, stop. Okay, I got a solution. Let's start space colonization.
I've already
You
started.
did. What do you think Stevie's doing up there?
I'm part of Space Force, man. I'm in space right now. But hang on a minute. Did he just say? Did Aquaman just say that it's the first world countries causing the problems? I'm pretty sure China and India got the biggest fucking emissions in the world. So why don't you just shut the fuck up, Aquaman?
Oh my God! Why Jason Momoa? Why did they get Jason Momoa? He can't even read our script. I would have rather.
He's an actor. You would have thought he would have practiced this shit. Yeah.
I would have rather listened to Amber Heard reading this. I would have been locked in. I don't know what she said, but I would have fucking watched every bit. Very closely.
Nations contribute the least to this disaster, but are made to suffer the weight of its consequences. Our governments and corporate entities have known for decades the immediate change is needed. Yet change still has not come.
Dude, we've been dropping our emissions in America every year for the past 12 years. What the fuck is he talking about?
You guys remember, I'm not on. You guys remember global cooling?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that existed. We were supposed to freeze many years ago. Now we're
Yeah, we
supposed to
froze in
boil
the
to death.
70s.
We're still really late for a freaking ice age. I mean, it's going to happen, and then like all the southern states will die out, and then all the Midwest states will be like sitting there.
Oh my goodness.
This is what I don't get about this stupid shit. Is how old's the Earth? Arguably millions of years old. Let's say 500 million years old. The Earth is, and since they've been tracking history and recording history, it's been thousands and thousands of years. And over that time, we've had periods of heat and we've had periods of extreme cold. And so they think in this 100-year period of the industrial age that we've had that much of an impact, that we're actually impacting those cycles that have been going on for thousands of years already. Bullshit. Now, yes, we are polluting, of course, and we should pollute less, but this is a load of crap.
Total load of crap. And they have to change the way that they argue it just so that they can try and be correct, because for years and years and years it was global warming, global warming, global warming. And then it stopped being global warming because the globe wasn't getting any warmer. So they had to change their argument to climate change, because you don't hear any of those wackos say global warming anymore. Now it's climate change.
Here's
Well,
something
guess
I
what?
learned about
The
climate
climate
change.
changes all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Climate change is actually, for if read in science, climate change is fucking natural part of the earth, and it happens when the earth is going through changes. It doesn't matter how big or small. And what we learned about it is like, oh, if a climate here is like this, it might change over time to something else.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
and
such
well,
as rainforest, desert, whatever.
What's the Earth? What stage is the Earth in now? About puberty. So it's getting all sweaty and shit's growing where it shouldn't, and all that kind of stuff. It's going through that awkward stage. Just let it be, Just let it be. I just got a quick
That
story.
boring teenager in the room listening to Nirvana talking about it doesn't want to come out and go to school and it hates everyone.
Remember when the thing was to stop like global warming and shit was to prevent deforestation, not all this pollution stuff? And that no one talks about deforestation anymore.
I feel like maybe he was in Aquaman and he saw this fictional shit and he was like, oh my God, I'm a hero. This is real. I speak for the ocean creatures.
He watched himself in Aquaman. Yeah.
I gotta do something.
Quick funny story. So we have all the same shit in Australia, and about 10 years ago there was a big drought, and it was going on for probably 3 or 4 years. And so of course all the climate change, all the global warming people piped up, and they're like, it's the end of the world and shit. And so there was some water storage issues, so people were getting close to running out of water. Anyway, they said, what should we do? I know, we'll spend 3 years and millions of dollars building a desalination plant. So they built a desalination plant next to the ocean, obviously to convert the salt water to fresh. And the very next year it was finished. The very next year it was flooded. There was that much rain that the desalination plant flooded completely. It couldn't operate because it was underwater. Dickheads.
Wow.
But that's what you get. That's what you get with politicians. And all this
they
rubbish.
think, they're incredibly arrogant that they think they want to play God. And the worst part about it is they want to do the whole carbon credit. Oh, well, if you just pay us money, we'll solve these problems. That doesn't stop the pollution. It just lets you collect fucking taxes.
Yep, exactly.
Could have put it better. Let's continue with this ridiculous speech.
There is no undoing. If you continue to watch, unsympathetic to the issues of island nations, this realization will soon come. That you stood by and witnessed the world cross the critical tipping point, ushering the death of our planet.
Oh my God.
This is definitely a superhero speech.
The death
of a planet.
But we are watching.
Can the machines rise up and kill us all yet?
Atlantis! Hold on. He is talking about Atlantis. He said, we are watching.
Can the fucking machines rise up and kill us all yet? I know I'm cybernetic and shit, but they don't fucking listen to me. Because I'm not fully machine.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That's...
Power is accountable for the destruction you are allowing for our environment. 3 years ago in Paris, the world stood united and vowed to keep the Earth below 1.5 degrees of warming. We pledged.
How can we do that, mate?
Higher standards.
What the?
Hang
Yeah,
on.
we'll just turn the
hang on.
sun down.
I'm just going to go turn the thermostat down. I'll be back in a second.
Right?
I couldn't fucking find it.
Okay, just we might be able to if we can cut out every single coal plant that's out there, except they won't let us build any nuclear power plants.
Oh my god, this is gold. Oh, thank you, Matt.
Hold on. I want
Are
to
we
read this
almost
super
done with
chat
it?
from Moira. She said, "I miss the days when actors used their fame to sell household goods and to promote charities."
I miss those days too, Moira. I miss them so much.
Yeah.
Oh
Do
god.
what is right. I'm standing here today because I am ashamed that not all of our leaders have honored this agreement. Delegates, I ask you now, do we still
I'm
stand
ashamed of my father's side of my family. My mother's side, they're cool.
for the betterment of mankind? Or will you continue to chase
Politics, you've lost. I'm saying that now.
in 2020?
Think
You bring
about
children
the
to politics,
children.
you lost. You have no standing ground.
But he's
But
doubling
the
up.
children.
I don't care. I don't care which side. You lost.
He's
Fuck.
doubling up.
Children are our future.
He said the annihilation of the planet. That includes the children, mate. You don't need to say it twice. We heard you. Or do the children get saved? I don't know. I fucking can't understand what he's saying.
Now the children's become mutants.
Luxury of half
Ah,
as we willingly force ourselves beyond the threshold of no return. As a human species, we need the Earth to survive.
No, we don't. Let's go to the moon, boys.
We are demanding global unity for a global crisis to once again bring harmony between mankind and the natural balance of our world.
Oh my god, that was from Aquaman!
What global crisis?
That was no, there wasn't one, PB. That was from the fucking Aquaman script. I'm gonna go back.
I'm trying to create a world where I can live comfortably on the northern shore of Hudson Bay. Is
Oh,
that too much to ask for?
so his way of restoring the balance is to get into a movie, earn millions of dollars, and have a big fucking mansion with probably 10 cars. And let's restore that balance. Yeah, now go get me fucking 8 cars and my big truck.
no. He's married to Khaleesi. They ride dragons. They're
Dude,
field
they are
fishing.
gonna use I'm gonna be upset if they use this for part of the marketing for Aquaman too.
He's a
Dude,
hero in real life.
DC wrote that script.
No, he just
I'm
hired
saying,
the
man.
writer.
I thought they were going down the Joker route. This is not the Joker route.
This is a joke.
Yeah, this is a fucking joke.
We must right the wrongs we have done against our children and grandchildren because we are gifting them with a world that suffers from our irresponsible stewardship. I leave you with an island proverb that states, Heva'a hemoku, hemoku heva'a. These words teach us that all land, no matter how big or small, floats on the ocean like a canoe in the middle of the sea. And that our planet is nothing more than an island floating amongst an ocean of stars.
Talking about one of his islands that was built by a fucking volcano.
It requires strict
Yeah,
conservation.
the island's not ready yet, man. If the volcano's still active, the island's not ready.
It's also not floating.
Global community to best steer our canoe in the right direction. The direction of a healthy and abundant future on Earth that we call home. Mahalo nui loa. Please join us, the Samoa Pathway, in unified commitment to protect and heal the planet. This is for all of us. Aloha. Kuki Mona.
Oh, what the fuck is he, Diamond Dallas Page? What the fuck is that? Bang!
Yeah.
Holy shit!
He definitely thought he was in a movie. Then he definitely.
What was that?
Oh my god!
Thank you, Aquaman.
That was awesome. That was
Thank you,
awesome.
Max World. That was the single greatest you have seen all night. No, not the single greatest.
We need to make that our new symbol for the show. Okay, that's the new symbol for the show.
That's actually the symbol of the Illuminati.
I thought that was the symbol of the Illuminati.
No, man, it's the triangles, man.
Oh, fuck, I can't keep up. Every second day, there's a new fucking thing that's the Illuminati. Seriously, everything's the Illuminati.
No, you just stick with your white power symbol, Stevie.
Okay, I will. I'm white and I have power because I'm in space right now.
That's right. You are
Deal with
above all of us.
Deal with it. Except that I'm down under. Shit.
Dude, I can't believe that he fucking. Where the fuck was this? At some UN thing?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
like
it looks like
it was an sheet.
Dude, you'd be way better off doing it the Dennis Quaid way. Just go build some fucking machine that's gonna actually do something to help instead of having some sanctimonious fucking speech.
Yeah.
Telling me that the planet's gonna fucking die? No, the planet is gonna be fine for
I just figured it
several
out.
billion years.
I just figured it out, mate. I just figured it out. He's been hanging out with AOC because remember the world's going to end in what 11 years or something? 10, 11 years?
Yeah, it's either 10 or 12. I don't remember which one she decided to go with.
Yeah, the cow farts are going to kill us. The world's going to explode.
Yep.
And that's it. We're done. Fuck it.
Yep,
We're
she
gone.
lost me when she's like, we need the Green Deal. We got to get rid of cows. I was like, well, you can go right ahead and fuck off. I need milk.
And cheese.
Remember?
Well, yeah, the milk makes the cheese. It's important.
The
It's
Amazon
very important
rainforest
to me.
was burnt down to make room for fucking coffee beans.
And I had my cup of Joe this morning.
Bitch, you're killing the planet. I'm gonna kill you now. I mean, it's a fair point though, but that's what it was. That's how they trace it.
Disclaimer. I believe a disclaimer is required.
You know,
They had a disclaimer. They signed up when they clicked the video. That was the disclaimer.
but I find this hilarious because do you guys remember when those dumb idiots were claiming the Mayan calendar was the end of the world?
Remember Y2K?
Yeah, I remember that. Except they don't understand that the end of the Mayan calendar just means that they needed another Mayan around in 2012 to make another calendar.
Yeah.
Like, nobody thinks on December 31st that the world's gonna end. It's the end of the calendar every fucking year.
Y2K was the stupidest one.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
dude, people literally were looting stores and going fucking nuts. What happened?
I keep getting explained to me. It's like, oh, they thought the timer wouldn't reset. I'm like, even if it'd probably just reset back to zero if it couldn't go to 2000. It'd go back.
Yeah.
It'd just go back to zero. It's just the default thing with a freaking clock, man.
And who was,
All machines are that way.
You know who the original idiot was like, planes are gonna fall out of the sky. How the fuck is the timer going to affect the fucking jet?
How's that? It may affect air traffic control, but the plane won't fall out of the middle of fucking sky.
No, it might, because didn't you know that planes are powered by clocks these days?
Oh shit!
Powered airplanes, yeah, it's a real thing. Yeah.
Damn.
These fucking idiots, seriously.
And this just swings around to like what I like to think I have a main talking point at times. with the media.
The
and
Star Wars. Oh,
Yeah, Star Wars.
This is, and these
Yeah.
things are all the reasons why I don't care about us fucking dying, because it seems like every few years we're supposed to die of something. There's even like one back in 2016, I believe. I don't remember what the hell it was. We're supposed to be dead then too.
No, there was
Yeah,
also
no.
a flu epidemic in fucking China.
2016 was the epidemic of I think what was it? Pussy grabbing?
I don't remember
That's a
that.
Trump joke, guy.
Every
I
few
missed
years
that
we're
one?
supposed to die of something, and it's
Oh,
just I'm like, oh, so if we are gonna die, I don't care. Let's let it happen. Let it.
Like,
It's time.
I just like this is the shit, and it's funny because with the way the media has been highlighting stupid shit, it's like everything's magnified because now you really highlight the stupidest
Well,
of things. Like,
let's talk to the two people here that have children. Are you concerned that there's not gonna be a planet left for your kids?
oh yeah, that's why I talked to Stevie about the space program. So he's up there right now.
Yeah. No. No. I almost don't even know what to respond. My reaction is basically this. Like zero fucks given. I'm not fearful whatsoever. There's plenty of other things I am fearful for my kids, but the annihilation of the world because of global warming, no, that is not on the list. Sorry, Aquaman, not on my list.
No, I sat down with the future dictator of the world and I said, just so you know, one day when I rule this planet, you might not have a planet to rule because according to these silly humans, the earth is going to warm up and everyone's going to boil to death. But don't worry, we're Kryptonians. So, it's going to be pretty fucking boring unless you find a cybernetic dog. You're going to not have shit to do. That's pretty
And
much the only way.
And then she said, Dad, I think you need a lozenge.
And she looked at me and she's like, Dad, why are you doing that creepy voice you do when a boy likes me? I'm like, I will destroy your school and that child in a disclaimer.
Disclaimer.
Oh my God.
Massive disclaimer there.
Massive.
But no, I mean, no. When I'm talking to my daughter, I worry about, boys hitting on her and the school system saying she has to walk away from a fight.
I thought that's what we were talking about earlier was defending yourself.
Yeah. But I never go, you know what? Take a seat. I gotta talk.
I'm sitting down already.
Yeah, me too.
I gotta talk about an issue with you. One day when I leave this earth and you get ready to maybe go to college and then in the far future have kids of your own, I want you to realize that you're not gonna have a fucking planet to be on. So I hope that you've packed a really good suit because you're gonna have to fucking fly to Mars because Earth is fucked. You're doomed. No, I don't have that conversation because who the fuck in their right mind does? I want to hear one of these wackos talking to their kids and trying to make this shit seem like serious. Like, Johnny, fuck your school lessons. Fuck learning about basic math and, reading and literature and
What
shit.
is
No,
math?
that's not important. What's important is our world is going through global changes. And one day it's going to heat up and we're all going to boil. Like, who the fuck opens with the conversation?
Well, actually, talking about kids and stuff, and the media pushing all this absolute frog shit. If you think about it the other way, they're actually scaring kids more than anything. Like they think they're informing everybody with their fucking lies. But example, my kids the other day said to me, or one of them said to me, Dad, are we all, is the world going to end one day? Are we going to all die or something? I said, well, look, everyone dies, mate. Everyone dies one day, but the world's not going to end. Let's have a look at this documentary. So I just put in like a short YouTube video, which wasn't about any politics. It was just about the cycle of a star and sun and that sort of stuff. And
Nice.
in the video, it talks about how the sun's still basically in its infancy, and it's in about 500 million years, it will expand and explode. So I'm like, look, guys, like the video said, in 500 million years, yeah, the sun probably will expand and the Earth will disappear. But are you worried about that? I said, how old do people normally live? And they go, 100 if you're lucky. I said, exactly. So don't worry about it.
So when you think about it from that
I'm
logic,
more scared of a fucking gamma ray burst than a fucking global warming, because here's the thing, it can happen at any moment and we'll never see it coming.
but then here's the thing about that though. We won't fucking see it coming. Say we have like an asteroid that heads towards Earth and we're thinking it's a little fucker, it's nothing to worry about, right? And it turns out it's a big fucking thing that's gonna fucking destroy the planet and it's coming to us like millions of miles. Well, what the fuck are you gonna do? Unless
I
Bruce
expect
Willis
you to go up there and deflect that motherfucker.
I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, if say we have a big like fucking explosion at the core of the Earth, no one's gonna feel the fucker. We're just gonna be gone. Who the fuck cares? If the world just exploded, how are you gonna prevent that? You're not. You're just gonna, one day there's gonna be a big boom. No one's gonna know what's gonna happen. Bam, we're just all gone. Boom.
It's actually, here's something.
No one's
too.
even gonna have a chance to say what could we have done. It's just like,
There's another thing too. It's worse for a planet to have a cold core than a hot core,
yeah.
because if our planet's core goes cold and we've lost our electromagnetic field, I remember seeing a thing. There's a lot of bad things that'll happen if the core goes cold.
It's like, this is actual like scientific stuff that's been proven with facts, and these idiots try to argue facts with nonsense. Like half of that shit that Jason Momoa was saying, there was no kind of fact, no citation. They don't quote anything. You know why they don't quote anything? Because they have no fucking facts behind their claims. I want to hear the person who dove the fuck into whatever trench he was talking about and found millions of particles of this plastic shit in there. Because if there was a supposed millions of particles fucking floating around in this one particular trench, you would think someone saw that motherfucker. Some scuba diver would have been scuba diving and going, oh shit, there's a lot of plastic over here. Maybe we should do something about this. You can't cite it because there's no fucking evidence. Where's your proof? It's just, there's no proof behind everything. It was just like with what the fuck is his name? Al Gore.
I would say that the proof is in the pudding, but doesn't stay together when you're underwater.
That's nice. But I mean, look at Al Gore, right? This motherfucker talks about energy efficiency and all this bullshit and carbon emissions, right? And the motherfucker is taking planes to his speeches like a fucking private jet. Where's the admissions there?
Pretty fucking high.
I mean, they took a tour of his house. He didn't have energy efficient bulbs. You want to know why he didn't have that energy efficient bullshit? Because those bulbs fucking suck. Have any of you used the energy efficient fucking light bulb? It sucks ass.
The fluorescent?
No,
The CFL
fucking
suck.
chimney ones.
LEDs are great as long as they got a good CRI. These are important things.
Because, fluorescent light bulbs, that's what, they said. They're actually dangerous because they have mercury in them.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm talking about these light bulbs that are supposed to be environmentally friendly or whatever else. You put the fucker in. First of all, that thing blows out like a boss. We had one in for a week at my house. That shit blew out. And then we put another one in, and it was dim as fuck. It no one's using those light bulbs because they
Fucking
fucking suck.
Kryptonian needs extra bright lights. That's hilarious.
Yeah, man. You know it gets dark in the fucking cave. You gotta light the shit up.
You
I
have
gotta
X-ray vision.
Well,
X-ray vision.
guys, I'm gonna sign off earlier. I'm gonna drop my link and sign off early because I'm getting tired and I'm also getting extremely agitated.
You don't want to pull a proper Jeremy and fall asleep on stream?
No.
Okay, well, you wanna plug yourself real quick before you leave?
The dog did.
Bullshit and gaming. I got stuff on Friday and Saturday. Be there.
Excellent.
Right. Bye.
See you later.
Farewell.
So Cyber makes an excellent point. This is a great place to leave this because it's funny.
We didn't talk about Star Wars though.
Yeah, it wasn't about Star Wars. Okay, so
Yeah,
there you
but there's all kinds of rumors out there.
Everything's about Star Wars.
No, I don't
Yeah.
give a shit about the rumors. I don't give a shit
Yes,
about.
you do.
No, I don't care.
But Palpatine survived.
Yes, he pulled a Darth Maul. But
No, he pulled a Luke. He fell down the right chute.
Stevie J, this is a rare occasion where you can plug your channel from the luxury of your spaceship.
Holy shit. Well, from up in space, thanks for having me on, Zod. So tonight for me and tomorrow morning for you, or this morning, I guess, for you guys, 8 a.m. US Central Time, I'm having a pre-Joker stream. So I've got fanatics of film coming on to have a chat about Joker before I go and see it tomorrow night, because I have my ticket already and I'm bloody excited. I can't wait to see this movie. So if you're awake, or if you want to set an alarm or whatever, jump back on in a few hours' time, and I'll be talking about Joker. And then, there's not much else going on my channel. The latest thing I've got up there is Jeremy John's video. Basically, I just put together the clips of him smacking the shit out of Disney. So, if you want to check that out, check that out. Otherwise, thanks for having me, and you're all awesome.
Awesome job. Yeah, definitely. Everybody go check that out. And I would be interested in maybe doing a roundtable. Stevie, if you're available, maybe we'll make it late night so we hit about your time, and then do our feelings after the film. Because I can't go on a panel before a movie and talk about it.
Well,
I already know.
It would be. I'm just trying to think. It'd be pretty late night for you. Oh, sorry, early morning for you, because tomorrow night I'll be seeing it at like 7 p.m. my time, which is about half an hour from now. So, a couple hours after that, and then I get back. So maybe the next day or something. Yeah, whatever. But sounds good.
Definitely awesome. So we'll definitely wrangle something up. And the curator, the commander, the person who keeps us in line and always likes to talk about cheese and Star Wars, Mr. PB, go ahead and tell.
Let me talk about Star Wars, you punk. Yep, I'm PB, and you can find me at Pop Culture PB on YouTube and on Twitter. And yeah, I talk about Star Wars a lot, but I also talk about Marvel and some Game of Thrones and some NFL. And the most recent video that I did was a little clip that I found from NBC's The Good Place, because they had a joke about Captain Marvel. So I figure I'd put that on the internet for everybody to enjoy. So if you'd like to enjoy a laugh, go check it out.
Awesome. And we have a super chat from Meghan1 that says Twitter is screwed. I'm trying to twit tweet that I'm having a Halloween 4 watch party for Holiday Horrors Halloween. So go check that out. I'll give you a plug, man, because you know I understand I don't want to say the Twitter. Twitter is on the fritz. So
You want to say the Twitter? Don't lie to him.
Got Twitter.
You guys have been in the fandom zone. Got some exciting stuff coming up. I've got a fandom talks with a mystery guest. I also, yeah, it's a mystery. Could be Stevie J. Could be someone else. Yeah.
Holy shit! It's a mystery to me too. Then.
So you never know. And also I have watch more anime. I don't know. We've been pushing it back because of reasons. The unicorn had a birthday on Sunday, and
so watch more anime on November 1st.
yes, and that might actually be a legitimate date. And I will be doing a roundtable discussion with Perp Minded on power. So that'll be interesting. We'll break down what's happening so far.
Black power, white power, Asian power. What kind of power?
All power. So we're all
like Odin.
Like Odin, yes. And also, I'm going to be doing a roundtable discussion as well on Joker, along with releasing my spoiler review. I've just got 1 or 2 more days until I want to bring it out. Maybe I'll wait a little bit longer because no one's gonna click it immediately.
Yeah, you should probably put it out right now.
Unless everyone goes and sees it immediately. So
people like seeing spoiler reviews before the movie so they know whether or not they should go and see the movie. Some people use that instead of non-spoiler reviews.
I'm just going to call my review. I'm going to try and put it out straight away, and I'm going to call it Joker Review. That's all I'm going to call it.
And then put spoilers.
Well, you don't know if it's spoiler or you don't know if it's not. You're just going to have to watch the motherfucker.
I like it. But yeah, as always, thank you guys for coming by for this late night discussion. I hope we had some stimulating conversations, laugh a little bit, and talk about the ridiculous world of entertainment. Tomorrow we'll maybe talk Star Wars.
Yay!
Oh, we're definitely talking Star Wars tomorrow, you son of a bitch. All rumors all night. And we're going to say rumor every time because that's what it is. It's a rumor. It's not a leak. A leak has to be confirmed.
So, maybe we'll make it a Star Wars night. But anyways, thank you all for stopping by. And remember the rule here in the Fandom Zone. Kneel before Zod.
Don't give him a thumbs up for that, Stevie. He's a C-level villain.
I'm shaking